Trojan football. On your new home for Trojan athletics, Girard Sports Live. Girard Sports Live is presented by Crocan Telephone, your community technology partner. Also by Ag Choice of Hepler, American Family Insurance, Jenny Collins Agency, Bradshaw Collision Repair, Brumback Service Center, Call Service, Chicken Annie's of Girard, Chris Paoni, DDS, Community National Bank and Trust, Evans Motors, Exchange State Bank, Farm Bureau Financial Services, First National Bank, Fort Scott Community College, Girard National Bank, G&W Foods Family Super, Hydrix TV and Appliance, Canar Eye Care, Lehman Realty, Larrett Ceramics, Mathis Drug, McClellan Sanitation, Medical Lodges Girard, Mini Stop, Norris Outdoor, Pearls and Curls Boutique, Producers Cooperative Association, TJ Belcher at State Farm Insurance, and Westridge Assisted Living. Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
And good Friday evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the weekend and welcome to week number 8 of the 2017 high school football season. Week 2 of district play. Can you believe it? We are 2 weeks away from the close of regular season with a couple of teams tonight with hopes and aspirations of making it to the postseason. Both teams 1-0 in district play and getting together here tonight in what is, for all intents and purposes, although stranger things have happened, a district championship ball game. It's the Girard Trojans, 3-4 on the season, 2-4 in their CNC play, and 1-0, as I mentioned, in district play against the Burlington Wildcats, 4-3 on the year. They were 4-1 in Pioneer League play and 1-0 in district play. Good evening, everyone. BJ Harris with you alongside Zach Adams and Josh Ledner here from beautiful Frank Jameson Field in beautiful Girard, Kansas. Cool night, starting to set off a little bit in the sunset, and it's going to be a gorgeous night for some high school football here in district play. The Girard Trojans, of course, coming to this ball game off a stunning 12-8 win last week, a game that was just bonkers and was not expecting that game to end the way it did. The Trojans just came out and did not play very well. We'll hear from Coach Philpott in just a little bit, and he talked about how they just didn't get off the bus ready to play that ball game, but they were able to figure it out finally in that game. The Trojans fell behind early 6-0 as the Anderson County Bulldogs scored on the third play from scrimmage, and it stayed that way for quite a while, all the way into the second half. Getting to the third quarter, and things went from bad to worse for the Trojans. Over the course of 3 straight possessions, the Trojans in the third quarter had a snap on the first snap of a drive go over the head of the quarterback, through the back of the end zone for a safety, made it 8-0. The next time the Trojans had the football, they fumbled. And the next time the Trojans had the football, they threw an interception. That's how things were in the third quarter for the Trojans. But the fourth quarter, what a difference it was as the Trojans finally got going a little bit late in the fourth quarter, about midway through the fourth quarter. In fact, they took over the football with 9:14 to go at their own 30. They go 8 plays, 70 yards, cap it off with a 1-yard touchdown run by Kyler Siebert with 4:50 to play in the game, make it 8-6. Go for 2, don't get it on a pass play. Get a turnover on downs, a big turnover on downs. Anderson County was driving the football a little bit, got it to 4th down, 4th and 2. They had actually 3rd and 2. I went back and watched the video. They had 3rd and 2, couldn't get it. Had 4th and 2, went for it. Quarterback mishandles a snap, falls down on top of it, grabs the football, spikes it in the air. Instead of it being 1st and 10, under 2 minutes to play in the ball game, and moving it and a chance to run the clock out for Anderson County, all of a sudden it's 1st and 10 for the Trojans at the Anderson County 22. Trojans go 3 plays, a 12-yard touchdown pass to Gage Shirtano seals the deal for the Trojans. What a game that was, Zach.
Oh, man, what a game it was. I don't know how many times we said we stole that one out from running, but you talk about not getting off the bus. I wasn't sure they got on the bus. They were still sitting here in Girard. That was a tough game to watch with a good ending. Unfortunately, they didn't come in. Hopefully, they can come in with a little bit better work ethic tonight. I know I hear some good things. I'm sure Coach will tell us that about the week of practice they had this week.
Yeah, he was pleased with practice. We'll hear from him in just a little bit here on the pregame show. They're going to have to play better because Burlington is a much better team, and a team that, again, went 4-1 in Pioneer League play. The Pioneer League, not quite as competitive, I don't think, as the CNC, but still pretty good. For me, the biggest win for Burlington was a 40-20 win in week 1 over Wellsville. Wellsville's now 6-1 on the year, and Wellsville's a perennial power in Class 4, Division 2, 3A, 4A, whatever the year happens to be. But the Wildcats right now, 4-3 on the year, and it is going to be all about number 10 for them. Connor Jeffers, he's a senior. The Trojans remember him from a year ago. Remember the Trojans fell to this team in Burlington last year and were able to still manage to win a district championship in a funny, weird way. But Connor Jeffers, he has 549 yards through the air, but on the ground, 1,165 yards on the season in 7 games. He averages 244 yards per game for this team. It's going to be all about number 10.
Ooh, yeah, I think we kind of skipped ahead a little bit to the keys of the game. Yeah. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out right now. If they don't do something to put a lid on this kid, they're going to have trouble.
And they have him listed as a running back. He's really the quarterback. They direct snap to him a lot. He's the only guy that has any passing attempts, and so it's a kind of a weird setup. We'll see it in just a little bit when they finally do line up, but it's pretty effective for them. Cale Johnson's the other one they got to watch out for. He's the only other guy really in the big figures, 300 yards rushing, still averages 56 yards a game right there in his efforts as well through the air and on the ground. And so the Trojans are going to need to watch out for Connor Jeffers. He's right there on your screen, and if they can stop him, I think the Trojans will have a very good opportunity to get the win today. We're going to hear from Coach Philpott in a little bit. He talks about Connor just a little bit, also talks about how he thought that his team bounced back from a lackluster performance last week. But the bottom line is the Trojans got the win. A win here tonight gives them a really good opportunity to win a district crown and get a home playoff game coming up in a couple of weeks. We're going to talk more about that in just a little bit. We're also going to hear from the head coach of the Trojans, Neil Philpott, all that and more right here on the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show. Community National Bank and Trust have been serving the area for 30 years. Stop in soon to pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue Mascot Debit Card. Community National Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Girard schools. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com. And Trojan football right here on Girard Sports Live is presented by Crocan, your community technology partner. Don't get bit by slow speeds and high prices. Get gigabit. Get the fastest internet in Southeast Kansas with Crocan. To learn more, go to ruralfiber.org or see everything Crocan has to offer at ckt.net. Up next, the head football coach of the Girard Trojans, Neil Philpott, on the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show on Girard Sports Live.
Community National Bank and Trust has been serving the area for 30 years with a strong commitment to the highest quality leadership and banking services. Stop in soon to pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue Mascot Debit Card. While you're there, be sure to ask about their e-power checking, mobile banking, and bill pay, and new Guardian Secure Checking. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC, and a proud supporter of Girard Schools. Go Trojans!
Crocan Telephone Cooperative has been serving Girard in Southeast Kansas for 65 years. In 1952, we helped our members connect with each other using telephone lines. Today, we connect our members with the entire world using fiber optics. While the technology has changed, our commitment to deliver it to our members has not. Check us out on the web at ckt.net.
Producers Co-op of Girard has been serving the needs of farmers and ranchers in Southeast Kansas for decades. With a wide range of products and services, you'll be sure to find what you're looking for. Contact the Agronomy Center for seed recommendations, seed treatments, crop scouting, and more, or stop by the farm store for feeds, equipment, supplies, clothing, and accessories. Producers Co-op also has bulk fuels and propane available. To see everything Producers Co-op Association has to offer, visit them online at www.girardcoop.com or give them a call at 620-724-8241.
For all your insurance and financial service needs, call your State Farm agent TJ Belcher in Girard today.
Girard Sports Live.
Welcome back to the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show here on Girard Sports Live. BJ Harris along with you, getting ready to talk to the head football coach of the Girard Trojans, Neil Philpott. His coach's interviews always brought to you by Brownback Service Center, 312 East St. John in Girard. Coach has been getting the team tuned up, so why not get your car tuned up at Brownback Service Center, offering oil changes, new tire alignments, muffler repair, and even country clipper mowers. Stop by and see the crew at Brownback Service Center or call 620-724-6770. Coach, boy, what a game last Friday night. It was a dandy up there at Anderson County. And sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you execute when you have to. You guys had a little bit of both in what was a big-time come-from-behind victory over Anderson County. As you kind of went back and looked at that ball game, what really proved to be the difference for your crew?
Persistence a little bit.
Yeah.
Hanging with it. I think our kids, saw that. For being there. We talked a little bit about after the game, and it's kind of been some of the stuff we kind of fought through early in the year, and playing for 4 quarters, and we didn't play great the whole time, and I felt like maybe we didn't play a full 4 because we didn't get off the bus really well. But we were able to, come from behind, hang in there, come from behind, make some stops, and execute on our last couple drives and go down and score and sneak out of town with a win.
I got to believe that scoring the touchdown play that they had on the first play of from scrimmage had to be a pretty good lesson for those guys, because I noticed it as it happened live that you have that mentality sometimes like, oh, that guy's already got him, I'm gonna lay back, and playing through the play is a big lesson to be learned. I'm sure that was part of the message on that one.
Absolutely, and part of it was maybe guys had a little. I don't know what you want to call it, layover, getting off the bus or whatever, but we, come off and miss 3 tackles on that play. We take a bad pursuit angle. You look at it, and there's so many things on that play that were bad, but, and that was their only offensive big play. We gave up maybe a pass here, but it didn't hurt us, and the guys were in good position that they made a play on, and we give up a safety, and that's their only points. And so, it's I thought after that we hustled the ball, we tackled in groups, and we got to where we needed to. There's still plenty to correct on times, and that's why they got some of the plays they did. But we played a little bit higher level after that first series, and kind of kept them in check on offense.
Boy, after the way this season started and some of the things we talked about as far as, not letting a negative thing turn into a couple of negative things and getting behind and not being able to come back in a ball game because you kind of get your head down a little bit, and you take that into consideration. Then we talked all season long about getting better. It kind of all clicked in that ball game because that was part of your issues was maybe not being able to overcome adversity, and boy, did they ever overcome it. So the mentality of that ball game had to be a positive for you.
Yeah, you walk away from it, and during the game, right after we got the safety, or they got the safety, and we were preaching to the kids, hey, look, it's still just 1 score. It's just still 1 score away, and hang in there, keep fighting, and we did, and that's something good that you can look back on, and hopefully maybe we've kind of learned that a little bit through some struggles, but if we can continue to do that, we just got to get off the bus and go and do that for 4 full quarters, and we'll be all right, I think.
Got to believe getting back to work this week, it was a little bit of a pep in the step for guys in practice, with knowing that you're now in the driver's seat for the district, getting that first win. What was work like this week?
Yeah, it was. We really did. We've had a good week of practice. Weather's been awesome, but always kind of changes mentality a little bit to how the weather goes. But it's been good. We've pretty crisp on Tuesday, which is kind of an install day, and getting some things in, and even then those are usually kind of struggle days a little bit just because it's all new. But we were bouncing around and had a pretty good momentum throughout the entire practice and executed pretty well. And then yesterday was good, and the day was good, and hopefully we can carry that into a good win on Friday night.
The Wildcats coming into town, Burlington, a team that the Trojans lost to last year in what was a really good ball game, ended up overcoming that and still getting a district championship. Burlington, what do you know of them? What do you expect out of this ball game?
Expect it was kind of a shootout last year, and they've had their games this year where they've scored some points, and they're going to be a physical team. I think on offense they single wing a little bit and get in there. Their quarterback, they call their quarterback or center back, or whatever you want to call him, He's a good runner. I mean, he's a strong, athletic kid that runs with the ball. Goes a lot for him. But he can throw it if he needs to, and they do a little bit. But, he's definitely a threat when he scrambles in those passing formations. And they've got some good athletes, some big kids up in front. And, their defense, it's kind of hard to get a read on. The couple of games they've got film. A little bit of everything, 4-2, 4-3. Last year they were 4-3, I think. So they'll might give us some different looks, which is always tough for guys to kind of adjust to in the game. But I think we've covered them and talked through them and seen them throughout the course of the year a little bit. So if we can execute what we're doing and see those changes in defensive fronts, and we should be okay.
Yeah, you talked a little earlier about being able to get off the bus at the right frame of mind. Good part is you don't have to do that because you've got the last 2 games at home. Talk about the benefits of being able to play at home and close out the regular season here with 2 straight at Frank Jameson Field.
Yeah, it's it's nice. It's always good to be at home and with the home crowd. Just kind of familiarity with it, and hopefully we've had good crowds all year. And our we talked a little bit about that today. That we want to come out here and finish the season and finish at home and finish strong and put ourselves in a good position to go forward here. Burlington it'll be a tough game. We'll have to play well, and then we'll have to execute and do the things we've always talked about all year, and hopefully some of that's starting to click, and we can do those things and get a win, a big, good win at home.
All right, Coach. Well, let's get it done. We appreciate your time as always, and good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
Head football coach of the Girard Trojans, Neil Philpott, joining us here on the Community National Bank and Trust pregame. Still plenty more to come here on the pregame show. We're going to step away, take a quick break. We still got your starting lineups. Keys to the game, opening kickoff as the Trojans take on the Wildcats right here on Girard Sports.
This is Trojan football.
Paoni Dental is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. Chris Paoni DDS offers exceptional dentistry for all ages in a friendly atmosphere. In fact, Chris Paoni has been caring for smiles since 1993. No wonder so many Trojan fans look so good. Paoni Dental offers preventative care, Invisalign, whitening, bridges, crowns, and more. Stop by today and ask about the all-new CEREC dental system, offering same-day crowns, start to finish, right there in the office. To learn more, visit them at 106 South Ozark in Girard or go online to paonidental.com.
Are you in need of post-surgical therapies for yourself or a loved one? The employees of Medical Lodges are here to care for you. With over 50 years of serving the community, they pride themselves on having the therapy experience you deserve. In fact, Medical Lodges is the first healthcare company in the United States to be 100% employee-owned. So when you're at Medical Lodges, you're part of the family. Stop by one of their homes today and feel the Medical Lodges difference. For more information, check out medicallodges.com.
McClellan Sanitation is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. McClellan Sanitation is also proud to have been serving Girard and the surrounding area for decades. McClellan Sanitation offers residential, commercial, and roll-off services. As a locally owned and operated company, owners Dave and Candy McClellan and their employees are dedicated to providing the highest quality customer service. To learn more, call McClellan Sanitation at 620-724-8486. McClellan Sanitation wishes the Girard Trojans the best of luck this season.
Norris Outdoor has a huge selection of quality billboards spread throughout southeast Kansas, giving you the ability to put your business in front of thousands of customers daily. But did you know? Norris Outdoor can also be where you get your next digital sign for your business, school, church, or sports venue. Norris Outdoor Signs is now a distributor of Sky Slate digital signs, giving you direct from the manufacturer pricing and giving your business a brand new look with high-resolution digital signage. To learn more, call Jared Norris at 620-249-7462. Norris Outdoor is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans.
This is Trojan football.
Welcome back out here live to Frank Jameson Field. Back out here getting ready for this with the Girard Trojans and the Burlington Wildcats. Burlington getting ready to take the field right now, and Trojans forthcoming as the students have the tunnel made up there with the band. Had a nice rendition of the national anthem by the GHS marching band just a little bit ago as well. Getting ready for this one. Girard Trojans 3-4 on the year. Getting ready to take on Burlington that is 4-3. Both teams 1-0 in district competition. Both teams with an opportunity to win a district crown here tonight. Let's take a look at your starting lineups brought to you by Pearls and Curls Boutique. The Trojans will be starting this game in style, but nowhere near the level of style you'll find at Pearls and Curls Boutique, a great new shabby chic boutique located next door to Sheer Expressions on the south side of the square in Girard. See all the new arrivals online on Facebook.com/Pearls and Curls KS. Facebook.com/Pearls and Curls KS, and they have new arrivals all the time on there. My wife reminds me of that quite often, so be sure to go check that out. Starting lineup first up for the Burlington Wildcats, it'll be number 1, Cale Johnson, 5'10", 160-pound sophomore running back. Number 10, Connor Jeffers, 5'10", 175-pound senior running back, quarterback. They do not list a quarterback on their roster because they run that kind of dual quarterback, dual running back, however you want to look at it. Number 15, Garrison, or for what it's worth, Connor Jeffers, the only one with a pass completion this year, so that would make him the quarterback by default. Number 15, Garrison Fiedler, 6'5", 200-pound tight end and a senior. Number 21, Jared Lutz, 5'10", 170, a junior. Number 23, Tucker Whitworth, at 5'10", 155, a senior running back. Good senior-laden team here. Number 45, Jacob Hawkins, 6'2", 225, and a tight end. He's also a junior. Up front for the Wildcats, number 56, Kevin Burke, 5'11", 200-pound senior. Number 59, Tate Petrie, a 6', 240-pound senior. Number 71, Cody Collins, 5'10", 200, and a senior. Number 75, TJ Lang, 6', 275, and a senior. And number 76, Harrison Rohrer, 6'1", 250, and a senior. So a little bit of size and plenty of experience for the Wildcats. Could that be a factor here in this ballgame where the Trojans don't have quite as much senior talent? For the Trojans, the leader for them, number 4, Kyler Siebert, 6', 184-pound senior. He will lead them up there. Running back, Camden McFarland, good game when he needed to last week. Had a couple of big runs late in that ball game. 5'9", 156-pound senior running back. He's their leading rusher. Wide receivers for the Trojans, number 14, Gage Shirtano, 5'10", 140, and a junior. Number 20, Josiah Thomason, 6'1", 170, and a senior. Number 24, Creed Curran, 5'11", 157, a junior, kind of a split wide receiver and running back. Up front for the Trojans, one tight end, Matt Saban, 6'2", 179, and a senior. Will Rasnick got in there last week at times as a tight end, number 41, 6'5", 187, and a senior. And then the beef up front for the Trojans. Guard Chase Bryant, 6'3", 260, and a junior. The other guard is Cole Cuthbertson, 5'10", 199, and a junior. The tackles are Carter Doherty, 6'4", 235, and a junior, and Chandler Humble, 6'1", 196, and a junior. And the Trojans lost their center last week. He's going to be out of this ball game. He should return next week and hopefully for a playoff game, and that's Wade Boatman. A really bad, not a real great injury there late in that ball game. Under a minute to play. It was a kickoff after the Trojans went up 12-8. Kind of not any real big issue there. Trojans needed to kick it off, needed to make a play. He had to go down and make a play on that, in fact, and when he did, came down and hurt his shoulder, and so he is going to miss this ball game. It'll be Cody Leonard, 5'10", 173-pound senior. Coach Philpott talking about Cody, that he's paid the time, he's done the effort, he's put in the work to earn an opportunity to be in there, and so he'll get a shot at it. If it's too much for him, perhaps, then it'll be Cole Cuthbertson, who also has some center experience, and so Coach felt pretty good about depth there at center, and we will see how that does play out. Keys to the game brought to you by Fort Scott Community College. With 40 fields of study, there is something for everyone at Fort Scott Community College. Students can take general education courses or compete an associate degree or certificate. Visit fortscott.edu or call 620-223-2700 for more information. Zach, your keys to the game.
I think today we call it the key of the game. The key of the game is number 10, Connor Jeffers. This guy's over 1,000 yards rushing. Got a lot of passing yards too. They got to contain him. They got to control him. They got to shut him down.
Yep, fine number 10. He's also their second leading tackler as well, and so he'll be a factor in this ball game. And you got to try to take away the Coach Herlocker, Brad Herlocker, girls basketball coach here at Girard, one of his best assets, and he's got a bunch of them. He's incredible, but he always goes into his game plan to take away their first option. If you can take away their first option, you're going to have your chance. And then if you can take away their second option, you're going to win a lot of ball games. Connor Jeffers, the first option. We'll see if they can take care of him tonight as the Trojans take the field here at Frank Jameson Field. We're going to step away, take another quick break. We'll come back and look at your area matchups, get you ready for kickoff here from Girard. The Trojans and the Wildcats coming up next right here on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan football.
The Producers Co-op Farm Store is committed to making your life easier by supplying you with the things you need for your farm and home. As always, the Producers Co-op Farm Store has a great selection of farm and ranch supplies, including pet supplies, ranch and corral building supplies and equipment, automatic waterers and feed bunks, tack, dog food, pet and animal health supplies, workwear, boots, and much, much more. Come in and check out the great deals on lots of new merchandise as well. Proudly serving Girard and the surrounding area, and proud to support the Girard Trojans.
When you're looking for Frigidaire innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Hydrix. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, will help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified Frigidaire appliances save you energy and money, and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months.
The only thing better than our price is our service. Hydrix, Fort Scott, and Girard.
If you're in the market to buy or sell a house, land, or commercial space, look no further than Lehman Realty. Locally owned and operated, Jason Lehman and his staff are ready to meet the needs of every client. When it comes to your listing, you can trust that Lehman Realty will take the time to get to know you and your property. Lehman Realty is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Learn more at www.lehmanrealty.net or call Jason at 620-724-8020.
Mathis Drug Store Incorporated has a proud Girard history of more than 50 years. Glenn and Karen Mathis took over the store in 1983 from Glenn's father and have been providing outstanding customer care and service since. At Mathis, they know their customers by name and value their support. Primary goal is to provide fast, accurate, friendly service. Mathis is a full-service pharmacy that accepts most insurance plans and supports competitive cash pricing. Mathis Drug Store, a proud supporter of Girard High School student-athletes.
This is Trojan football.
Back out here live, Frank Jameson Field in Girard, getting ready for this one, just a few minutes away from kickoff for the Trojans and the Wildcats. Chance to give you a look at our area matchups from around the area, brought to you by Bumper to Bumper of Girard, formerly Brenneman Auto Parts. Bumper to Bumper has been serving the Girard area since 1935. Come in and talk with Willie if you're in the need for belts, Bosch brake pads, Wix filters, time kit bearings, and so much more. Bumper to Bumper, 101 East Prairie in Girard, and a lot of the same games that we had a week ago, or same teams, obviously. It's just everybody's kind of switched around a little bit, and the district schedule is starting to kind of shake its way out there. 4A District 1. Labette County is probably the favorite to win that one. That Chanute going to try to have a say about that. That's a good one in that 4A1 District 4, 4A1 District 3. Fort Scott, I thought that was a pretty good win for them to get a win over Paola or Lewisburg last week. And so they're 5-2 right now. They should get a win. They should be going into a big-time game next week with Fort Scott and Paola, both looking for a district championship. But if Fort Scott wins tonight, they put themselves in an opportunity to get in the playoffs. 4A2 District 3 is this one right here, the other side of it, Anderson County and Iola. See how Anderson County bounces back from one that they feel like definitely got away from them. The other side of that one, good one going on tonight in Columbus, Frontenac in Columbus. Frontenac, Columbus did bounce back from their loss to Galena there in week 5, but they'll see how they handle Frontenac. Frontenac just hasn't quite improved the way I would expect them to. Elsewhere, Galena, one of the top teams in the area, should have no problem with Southeast tonight. And then also Colgan is hosting Oswego tonight, again, a team there. And then Pittsburgh taking that long trip out to Wichita to take on Wichita North. Pittsburgh should have an opportunity to get a win there in that ball game. And then for 5A, which is Pittsburgh, they then seed the whole east and west sides. Pittsburgh's going to have an opportunity to host a first-round game. And so week 9 is their playoff, and Trojans ought to get used to that because I think that's the way things will be set up next year in 4A or 3A as well for them. And so that's a look around the area here, brought to you by Bumper to Bumper. Getting just a moments away as the get ready to take the field. Opening kickoff, as always, brought to you by Larrett Ceramics, 503 West Maple in Girard. Stop by Larrett Ceramics for great gift ideas, supplies. Get creative when it comes to gift buying and get your friends and family a beautiful ceramic piece or maybe even classes from Larrett Ceramics. Call 620-724-8442. The Trojans won the toss, elected to defer to the second half, and so they're going to kick it away to Burlington, and we'll get a chance to look at that kind of unique offense that the Wildcats do run here in this offense and get them. It's a good Burlington team. Again, I don't think the Pioneer League is quite as strong as the CNC. So the Trojans, I think, you've seen Galena and Frontenac and Columbus and Colgan, teams that are all going to be in the playoffs. And you look at the Pioneer League, and most of those teams are not going to be in the playoffs. You talk about Osawatomie, Iola. And so we will see what that competition does for you in this ball game here. I think this is going to be a very good one. And it's going to be a kickoff here for Cannon McFarland. Kickoff left side for Cale Johnson. Johnson, center return, good run up the middle. Finally hit and brought down for the Trojans. And Johnson gets a carry all the way up near the 40-yard line. Tackle made for the Trojans by Brandon George. Nope, that's for them. Number 30 for the Trojans is Caden Byram making the tackle. You already see the change for the Trojans at the kicking game. Camden takes care of all the kicks on place kicking for PATs and field goals, but kickoffs have always been done by Wade Boatman, and Wade out of that ball game with that injury, and so we have already seen that. Trojans, Burlington going to start at their own 39-yard line, and a run up the middle, and Jeffers just trying to drag defenders and keeps on dragging. Trojans finally get him down. A tackle made there by Kyler Siebert. And so the Trojans limit him to a gain of about 4 on the play. Should have been a gain of 1 or 2, but he gets a gain of about 3 or 4 to bring up a second down and 6 here for Burlington. That 2 quarterbacks set and the 2 wings there. They quickly go to their hand to the ground, end around to Johnson. Trojans lost him off to go second play. They got scored on the first play last week, or the third play last week. They get scored on the second play here, and that is a big-time run there. A 58-yard touchdown run, 57-yard run by the Jeffers on the second play from scrimmage.
Yeah, I think that might have been a product of maybe keying a little bit too hard on Jeffers. A little mixed match back in the backfield, and he comes out the other side untouched.
I said Jeffers. It's at Johnson. Cale Johnson. You had it right. I did not. And Johnson goes 57 yards for a touchdown. And just like that, the Trojans find themselves in a hole again. This Jeffers will catch the corner, and he will run it in for a 2-point conversion. And just like that, the Trojans find themselves in an early 8-0 hole, 11:09, not even a minute into this ballgame. Trojans trail by 8. We're back in 30 seconds. You're watching Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan football.
For over 80 years, Evans Motors has provided some of the best handshakes in the 4-state area. No matter what type of handshake a situation calls for, Evans Motors will guide the hand into its proper position with the correct amount of pressure. Risky handshakes, classic handshakes, or something in between, Nate and Eddie have an arsenal of shakes, roughly umpteen. So the next time you want an optimal handshake, come to Evans Motors in Pittsburgh.
This is Trojan football.
2 plays, 61 yards, capped off on a 57-yard touchdown run by Cale Johnson for Burlington. 2-point conversion was good as well by Jeffers. And the Trojans find themselves in early 8-0 hole. This is a Trojan offense who has not been terribly consistent this season, and so you can't expect yourself to play from behind too much. Here's a kickoff for Anderson County. That's a big fella. Kicking that ball away. It'll be fielded by McFarland. He'll come near side, get bottled up, and brought down. That kicker kicking that one away. Jacob Hawkins, 6'2", 225. Good-looking cat. And McFarland's going to return that one up to the 25-yard line. That's where the Trojans will start their drive at their own 25. Here with 11:01 to play in the first quarter.
Like you said, BJ, this Trojans offense is not built to score big chunks and come play from behind. So hopefully they just don't panic early and can get something going and set their game plan in motion.
Yeah, settle down a little bit offensively and just run your game plan. You're right. Wing to the right side. 2 wide receivers near side, 1 to the far side. He'll send Curran in motion. Turn, handoff, Curran on the right side, trying to pick his way to catch the edge. Creed's got to run off the sidelines. He's across the 35 up near the 40-yard line. A good run there by Creed Curran. They run him in motion a lot. They don't hand it to him all that often, but a 14-yard pickup there by Creed Curran on first down and 10. And it'll be a first down for them at the 39-yard line here, 10:54 to play. As they will stop the clock with the movement of the chains. It should have, he went out of bounds. Snap back to Siebert. Going to keep it himself. Good read there by Kyler. And goes low across the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of a couple, as it will move the ball up across the 40-yard line, up near the 42. And it'll bring up a second down and 7 here for the Trojans. Kyler's done a good job and kind of settled in reading that option. I really saw things kind of come to life against Colgan, and since that point he's done a much better job reading the option here in this season. 2 wide receivers near side, 2 to the far side. Wing to this near side is Will Rasnick. Send McFarland in motion. Fake it to him. Siebert, as I brag on his ability to read, that was a give there. Should have probably given it in the belly of Cam McFarland, but he does not, and it's a gain of maybe a yard on the play. And it will bring up a 3rd down and 6 here for the Trojans, after picking up a first down on their very first play.
You know, they played a lot of this option read all year long. Kind of see maybe it burned them a little bit last week. They kind of keyed on that and keyed on Camden really heavily.
Yep.
You know, so it's kind of nice to see them hand it off to Curran right off the bat, and hopefully they can mix it up a little bit and maybe not be quite as predictable.
Trojans, I think, had 3 complete passes last week, but 2 of them were huge. They're going to need one here on 3rd and 6. They'll swing it out here to McFarland. He catches it, gets running downhill, got to turn it upfield. He's not going to have enough for the first down. Gets across the 45. Up near the 47-yard line. 46 is where they're going to mark him down. And it'll be a gain of 5. It'll bring up a 4th down and about 3 here for the Trojans. And that's going to be too much to try to overcome here. And a punt forthcoming for the Trojans. Caden Lallman going to be at his own 31-yard line. 2 guys back is Johnson. And back to receive is number 24, Jaden Payne, 5'9", 140-pound senior. Good high hanging kick, and Johnson's going to catch it. Immediately brought down there by Gage Shirtano. Good punt, good execution of the punt team, and good coverage.
Well, if Saban been a foot down lower, that kid would have wished he'd have called fair catch for sure.
And he makes the play, and so it'll be, that's where they'll start at the 28-yard line for Burlington. Trojans giving up a touchdown on the very first drive, the second play from scrimmage. And last year, they did that too on the 3rd play from scrimmage and didn't let them score again in that ball game. Here's 2 guys in the backfield. They'll go quick down, hand off Jeffers and hand off an inside. And it'll be a run by Jacob Jasper, 5'5", 140-pound running back. They just have so many running backs, and they'll run them in out of the field. And I'll tell you, I've played against not this type of offense where they run those 2 quarterbacks and they lean back here. This is what Lamar, similar to what Lamar does. And the Trojans do a jamboree every year with Lamar. So they've had a chance to see a little bit of this, and obviously saw it last year against Burlington. But I've seen the wishbone ran to perfection, and there's a lot of motion like this as well. Only 1 quarterback. They'll turn. It's Jeffers off the left side trying to catch the corner. Trojans trying to stretch it out. Well played. What a play there. Coming down the line of scrimmage. Kyler Siebert, a penalty flag is going to be thrown at the end of that play. I'm not sure if that was part of the play, but they did finally track down number 24, Jaden Payne. And he comes up limping a little bit, but a penalty light in that play. And it's going to be... We'll see what they decide on that one. It was going to be a loss, about 2 on the play.
Come on, bring out your crystal ball. What are they going to call here?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
When that flag was thrown, and it's going to be a horse collar against the Trojans. I don't know if that's accurate, but we'll have a chance to see it when we go back and watch this video. But that's a tough break for the Trojans because that would have brought up a 3rd down on that play. Instead, it's going to move the chains, and it'll bring up a 1st down and 10 up to the 45. What a backbreaker there for the Trojans. 7:22 to go and counting in this first quarter. Trojans trail 8-0 here to Burlington. At home here in this district game, at a de facto, I think, district championship game. Here is Jeffers. Rolling, looking downfield. Sets up, lets it fly. He's got a man way down the deep in the middle. And well defended. Nice job by Ty Norris. Coming over at the last minute and making a heck of a play, closing on that one. They had the big fella running down the middle of the field. He is a good one. Garrison Fiedler, 6'5", 200, and a senior. One of the captains on this team running right down the seam, and well played by Ty Norris. That ball hung up there. If it had been on a little bit more of a rope.
I was just going to say, Norris kind of started to lose him there a little bit in the middle of the field and kind of turned his head at the right time and bridged that gap pretty quick and managed to make an awesome play.
Had to close it off. 2 men in the backfield. 2 wings left side. Jeffers left side. Trying to pick his way through. Stood up, brought down Ty Norris on the play. Nice play there by Ty. It'll be a gain of 3 on the play to bring up a third down. And third down at about 6. Third down at 7 here for the Wildcats. 6:44 and counting, and a big third down here for the Trojan defense. Again, gave up a touchdown in the second play of the game. Now trying to get stiff here on defense. 2 men in the backfield, wide receiver near side, 2 wings near side. Those linemen will go up and then they'll slam their hands to the ground in a hurry. Snap back, rolling near side. Jeffers trying to pick his way through. Trojans going down the line, and then again it's Ty Norris. Penalty flag is going to come in there. It's going to be shy of a first down, and it's holding against the Wildcats. We'll see what the Trojans decide to do. If they decline it, Coach Philpott's already indicating that he wants to take it back.
There's a flag on the play.
That's a tough decision for a coach because it's 4th down and 1 or 3rd down and 14. And we will see what they do. You think they go for it on 4th down? Okay, well, that's.
I think they probably would. You know, they're picking up chunks 3, 4, 5 yards at a time each time they run the ball. And I'm thinking until you show me you can stop me, I'm going to try you.
It'll bring up a third down and about 15 now for the Wildcats. They'll wind the clock here with 6:20 to play in the first quarter. Trojans trying to get a stop here on their second play on defense. 1 wide receiver near side. That's Fiedler. Watch him. 2 wings near side. 2 quarterbacks. Jeffers. Option. Fake that counter. Back against the grain, and he's gone. That was well played by him. He kind of gave a dump step to the near side, and Jeffers is gone. It's going to be a 60-yard touchdown run by Connor Jeffers. And the Trojans just do not have an answer. They have not ready for this offense here today. They have been scoring plays of 60 and 57 yards. That time it was Connor Jeffers on the run.
This was not where they wanted to be at this point in the game. You know, that week of preparation that they had, I don't think that this is what they had in mind.
5:55 to play in the second quarter, and Jeffers going to run a pass here on a 2-point conversion. It's going to be incomplete, and so it will be no good, and that'll make the score more traditional 14-0. 5:55 to play in the first quarter. We're back in 30 seconds. You're watching Girard Trojan football right here on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan football.
Farm Bureau is proud to support Girard High School student athletes. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, their #1 goal is to make insurance simple. Agents Judd Sasho, Lori Johnson, and Lisa Sasho take pride in educating their clients and members so they are able to make the best decisions. There's a lot of information out there, and at Farm Bureau, they can explain it in a way that relates to you so you can apply it to your life, family, farm, and future. To learn more, contact Judd, Lori, or Lisa at 620-724-4213. Go Trojans!
This is Trojan football.
Well, the Trojans on a 3rd down and 14, 3rd down and 15. The Wildcats get a 60-yard touchdown run by Connor Jeffers. And with 5:55 to play in this first quarter, the Trojans find themselves in a 14-0 hole. It's the 6th play of that drive. Started at their own 28-yard line. So they go 6 plays, 72 yards, and cap it off on that. Kickoff to McFarland, coming to the near side, looking for a block downfield. 1 stiff arm, cuts back against the grain. Good run by Cam across the 40. Still on his feet at the 45, and knocked it out of bounds at the 50-yard line, and a incredibly athletic move coming to the bench. And a Trojans going to have very good field position after the nice return by Cam McFarland.
Yeah, that might have been the spark they need to get something going. Give them a little something to be happy about.
They desperately need something like that. A score would go a long ways to get that here for them. Trojans will come up the line here, the ball at the 50-yard line.
if they work quick here, get down, get a score. It's far from over. They got a lot of game left.
For sure. Here's Siebert. Handoff on the right side. Thomason trying to pick his way. Cuts back against the grain. Good run there by Thomason. And it's a gain of 5. And so far, something I have noticed, and it's been successful. Trojans have only ran 5 offensive plays now. But the edge has been a little softer. So that's hopefully something these guys here a couple doors down from us are talking about. And we will see if they're kind of saying, hey, we may be able to get to the edge on them a little bit.
Well, if you're reading off that starting lineup, every single one of them was a senior, and every single one of them was over 200 pounds. So up the middle might be a tough proposition all night.
That was the offensive starting lineup. They do go small on defense, though. Look at that front four. They're not very big. Turn, handoff, McFarland right up the gut. Oh, how much do we know? Up across the 40-yard line, up near the 45, near the 30-yard line. It's a good run, a good gain of 14 for Cam McFarland, and the Trojans are getting it in chunks now. Here, 5 minutes to play in this first quarter, trying to dig themselves out of a 14-0 hole.
I love that broadcaster's heck. As soon as you say something, they just prove you're wrong.
Yeah, no. That's not a broad. That's just I'm not very smart. That's part of the issue we have to deal with, or you have to deal with as my broadcast partner. Here's shotgun set again for Siebert. He'll send Thomason in motion again. They hand it to him. Here comes the edge. Trying to pick their way through. Thomason going to be brought down from behind across the 30. It's not going to be much. Maybe a gain of 2 on the play as he gets it up to the 29-yard line, and it'll be a 2nd down and 8 when they get the ball set here from the 29. Yeah, it was pretty close as well. That's what I was thinking as well. The Trojans had a horse collar penalty against Kyler Siebert that allowed a drive to stay alive and resulted in a touchdown. The Wildcats have scored on their first 2 possessions. They have not ran very many plays. 8 altogether. Here's Siebert. Handoff Curran. Curran trying to find his hole. Good cut by Creed. He'll get it up across the 25, up near right at the 25-yard line. That'll be a gain of about 4 on the play. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and 5 here for the Trojans. 3:52 to play in the first quarter. Trojans trail at 14-0 here at home. A little shell shock perhaps. But again, the Trojans came back from an 8-point deficit a week ago up in Garnett.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, if they get a score here, don't panic. Tighten up their defense. Still in this game.
3rd down and 5. This is a big one here to try to keep this drive alive. Certainly 2-down territory. Turn, fake it. Siebert, good carry. He's got the 1st down across the 20, up near the 15-yard line. It's a 1st down. A good gain of 11 yards for Kyler Siebert. And it's a 1st down. It'll move the chains.
That's what you got to love to see. Just going in there and cracking pads. Eventually, they're gonna get sick of that. You keep hitting them like that.
Trojans move them, and it's 1st down and 10 from the 15-yard line. 3:16 to go in the first quarter. Trojans starting to find a few things that are positive for them in the run game. Keep an eye on for that is the Trojans. Cody Leonard stepping into that starting center role right there. He'll turn, handoff, McFarland. Good run for Cam across the 10, up near the maybe 7-yard line. It's a great run on 1st down for Cam. That'll be a gain if they put that down. We'll see where they mark it. Gain of about 7, maybe 8 on the play. Call it 7 officially to bring up a 2nd down and 2. 2nd down and 3.
It looked a little bit different than last week. It seemed like maybe last week Cam was a little bit more tentative, waiting for something to open up. Here it seems like he's picking his spot and just blasting to it.
Wide receiver near side, Thomason. Everybody kind of bunched, all the other wide receivers to the right side. One man in the backfield is McFarland. Turn, hand off up the middle. Good cut by Cam. Up in the middle. Touchdown. Trojans. Cam McFarland goes in from 7 yards out and caps off that drive. What a beauty it was. Trojans go 7 plays, 50 yards. And 6 plays, 50 yards, and cap it off on a 7-yard touchdown run by Cam McFarland. That was a thing of beauty. I mean, that really looked nice for the Trojans.
Hey, coaches really got to love that bounce back after 2 strikes to the heart like that, to come back and put it together. A nice drive with a nice mix of plays and going down there and bouncing into the end zone.
Point after attempt up and through, and the Trojans have answered back. 14-7 your score. We're back in 30 seconds. You're watching Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan football.
G&W Foods is the one-stop shop for everything you need to feed the family. With a great selection of quality, fresh, and delicious foods, you're sure to find something to satisfy every appetite. With friendly and knowledgeable staff, the folks at G&W Foods can help you find what you need so you can get in, get out, and on your way with your day. Plus, don't forget G&W Foods for the great daily lunch specials. Open 7 days a week. Check out their weekly Facebook-only specials. The G&W Foods family super wishes the Girard Trojans the best of luck.
This is Trojan football.
Trojans bounce back. They go 6 plays, 50 yards, cap it off on a 7-yard touchdown run by Cam McFarland. His PAT was good and made it 14-7 here with 2:18 to play. In this first quarter, boy, it's been a dandy. We've had more excitement in the first quarter of this one than we did in the first 3 quarters last week. That fourth quarter made up for it. Trojans need a big play here. Oh, that ball, it's loose. Trojans have it, and the Trojans have the football. Cam McFarland comes on it. It is definitely a fumble. They stuck it in there. Who put their hat in the belly of that? I don't know who made that tackle for the Trojans. I missed it. I was getting ready to look to see what the number was, and the ball popped out. But what a huge play for the Trojan kickoff coverage team. And now the Trojans are in business.
Boy, you talk about turning the tide. Well, had Noah and McFarland not been fighting each other over that ball, one of them might have got it in the end zone.
Trojans, awesome. Trojans get a big play there on special teams.
Can't wait to go back and watch the video on that one.
For sure. Now you got to turn it into points. Do what you were doing. Pass and looking down the field. Siebert going to let it fly, and a miscommunication and give it right back. So that's where you overthink things, Coach Philpott. And I don't have any any semblance he's going to go watch this, but that is not the right play. You just ran it all the way down the field on 6 plays, getting chunks of yardage. Conventionalism, you see that on Saturdays, you see it on Sundays, where they take shots down the field like that. You know the difference is they've got guys like Tyreek Hill that can run down the field and catch balls. Trojans don't have Tyreek Hill, and so the Trojans take over at that 30-yard line and immediately INT on a pass play, and now Burlington has it 1st and 10 at the 5. Jeffers off left side, a team that scored on plays of 57 yards and 60 yards. They can pick up big chunks of yardage. And the Trojans miscommunication in the passing game and give it right back to Burlington. A squandered opportunity, no doubt about it.
Easy come, easy go. But, hey, you know, if we're looking for upside, you know, if you got this kind of field position on the kick, you'd like that.
Yeah, you'd like a touchdown.
I'm being possible.
What you really like here.
I'm just trying to be positive here.
Yeah. You got to overcome my negativity because that was frustrating there.
Yeah.
Jeffers coming to the near side, trying to get outside. Bad tackle there by the Trojans and out of bounds, and he picks up. Looked like it was going to be a gain of nothing. It was a gain of 15. Could have been a stop for nothing, and finally Austin No escorts him out of bounds. And so now, just like that, the Burlington has gotten himself a little bit of breathing room up to the 25-yard line. And it'll be a 1st down and 10 from that marker. 14-7 your score. Trojans just need to stop defensively, need to prove it that they can stop them. Oh, ball loose again. Jeffers trying to check it down. He goes all the way back, trying to go to the far side. Trojans are going to get him. Going to bottle him up and finally bring him down. Trojans get a stop all the way back inside the 9, inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. That's a huge loss of 15, 16 yards. All the way back inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. And so it'll bring up a 2nd down and 26 for the Wildcats. Wide receiver near side is Fiedler. Try not to let him overcome this. 2 men in the backfield. Jeffers with it, rolling to the near side, looking downfield, looking for Fiedler. Now he throws it up there. Trojans in coverage, and boy, good ball. That was a really good ball.
Yeah, it was.
Put right on the money. Need to be caught, but wasn't by the Wildcats, Girard Lutz. And it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I mean, that was dangerous looking. You had 3 receivers, all of them out there covered well.
Still and still put in a right spot for the pass by Jeffers. Again, a guy who's got over 1,000 yards rushing and almost 600 yards passing coming to this ball game as well. 28 seconds remaining in what has been a dandy of a first quarter here tonight in district competition.
I'm going to get out my crystal ball and say watch out for the reverse here.
That's your call. Wide receiver to the near side. Here's a put that hand down. High snap again. Turn. Hand above the middle. Jeffers, he lost his footing a little bit. Got lucky because there was a hole back to the inside. Trojans do make the tackle. And it'll bring up a fourth down and a penalty. Here's why they didn't run the reverse, because they know what they need to do was run the ball between the tackles because it has been working. They have touchdown runs of 57 and 60 on that exact same play. Whereas the Trojans, when given the opportunity to do what they've been doing that's been successful, they throw it down the middle of the field and throw an interception. So a little frustration there for the Trojans, but they do survive it and get their first stop of the ball game. And so Burlington trying to get a guy off the sidelines. Jared Lutz, guy that was intended receiver a moment ago. 9 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Trojans trail 14-7. They're going to get the ball back with very good field position once again, which this could be the final play of this first quarter. Curran to receive, and they're going to let that run the clock out here in this first quarter. What a game so far. Trojans down by 7. Into 1. We're back in 1 minute. You're watching Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan football.
Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Of course, Ag Choice has all the products you need to keep your crops growing, like fertilizer, crop protection products, and seed. But Ag Choice is also the first stop for keeping your livestock operation going, with a great selection of farm supplies, equipment, and quality feeds. To find solutions to all of your agricultural needs, contact Joe Murphy of Ag Choice of Hepler at 620-368-4347. Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, then I look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day, lovely day.
This is Trojan football.
Here we go. Trojans survive a interception. And they get a blocked kick. It did get blocked, and it goes out of bounds. Trojans are going to have great field position once again. Great job on the special teams. So special teams so far has been a big difference here. They had a fumble they caused. They got a short field, couldn't turn it into points. Let's see if they can do it here.
Hey, Cody Leonard had a nice catch over on the sideline if they need a return man.
Yeah, it went straight out of bounds. He made a nice catch here. Standing over here, center, making a catch out of the air. That's not bad. So the Trojans, again, excellent field position. And here the Trojans will have it at the Wildcat 29-yard line.
Talk about opportunities, BJ. This is a great opportunity for them to get just right back into this game, get where they want to be.
Thing equalized at 14. Handoff McFarland, a good cut by him. Cam is playing well up across the 25, up near the 24-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5 on first down and 10 for Cam. It'll pick up a second down and 5 here for the Trojans. Wildcats scored on their first 2 offensive possessions. They ran 8 plays at that point and had 14 points. They scored on the second play from scrimmage and scored on another one on a 60-yard run by Connor Jeffers. Trojans get their first stop a moment ago. Let's see if they can turn it into points. Siebert going to keep it himself and barrel his way forward. Kyler's kind of deceivingly strong for him, a good strong quarterback, and he had a run. That first touchdown for the Trojans last week against Anderson County was just all Kyler, just getting in and getting his low on his body and driving his legs forward. Will Rasnick comes up a little injured. He has been a struggling injury. This one looks the lower half of his body. He battled a shoulder injury throughout the early part of the season. Just got on the field a couple of weeks ago, and now he comes off with an apparent lower extremity injury. And so the Wildcats trying to stop good field position. Trojans will have two down territory here for sure, as they'll have it 3rd down and 5. Now the officials stop play. Gotcha. Chase Bryant goes across the line of scrimmage and helps out a defender to get his shoulder pad fixed. That's good sportsmanship there. 3rd down and 5 and a big one here. Straight drop. Got a man wide open. Cam was wide open over the top and didn't take it. Now Siebert's going to pull it down. Just trying to get it up the field, get a first down. He cannot do it. Boy, Cam was open for a while on that sideline, and got to find him. Can't do it. He'll maybe get a couple of yards on 3rd down and 5. It'll bring up a 4th down here. Well, end up running it. They call it a gain of 2. It'll bring up a 4th down and 4 here for Girard. 10:21 to play. We are in the second quarter.
Some of them look pretty wide open from up here, but some of them got to look just as wide open from down there.
And so 2 wide receivers far side here. A 4th and 4. Empty backfield. One wing is Saban. Send McFarland in motion. Fake it to him. No, hand it to him. Cam bounces outside. Spins back against a green. He's got the first down. A big run on 4th and 4. All the way up to the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 7 on 4th and 4 and a first down for Cam McFarland. Trojans get it.
See, now there's a call I like a little bit more. You've been seeing your success around the corner and around the edge. Get it to the edge. Let's see what they can do.
9:52 to play first half. Trojans trail by 7. Trying to climb out of a 14-point hole. 2 wide receivers far side. And the slot is current. McFarland just to the left of Siebert. Send Thomason in motion. Hand it to him. Big hole out there. Thomason turns it up. Cuts back against the grain. And it's a good run of about 7 yards on first down. All the way up inside the 10-yard line. Maybe a gain of 6. And one of the hardest things to do on offense as wide receivers is holding your block out on the edge. Gage Shirtano was out there. If he holds his block and gets that guy driven inside just a little bit more, he's going to be open to bounce it out. I think that's what Thomason saw. And a good play there by the defender to get on it. A 2nd down and 4 here for the Trojans at the 9-yard line. McFarland this time will line up directly behind quarterback Siebert. Turn, handoff, Mack. Mack cuts back against the grain and still on his feet, running forward. A good gain. It's going to be close to a first down. He's going to be shy of the 5. That's about where he needs to get. And it will bring up a 3rd and short, 3rd and 2 now for the Trojans. A gain of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a gain of 2 on the play. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 2 here with 8:37 to play in the first half. 14-7 Trojans trail by 7. Class 4A Division II, District 3. And I've said it, it's certainly not the case, but it's a de facto district championship game, I believe, between the 2 best teams in this district. 2 wide receivers near side. Now Saban will slide to the left. Siebert, good read there. Up the middle he goes. Up near the first down marker. I think he gets across the 5. That's where they have him marked. It'll be 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. A gain of 3 for Kyler Siebert.
So you got to like this. There's nothing fancy. You know, you just run the ball, take what you can get, pick it up in chunks, and move the chains.
And now you got 4 plays to get it into the end zone here from the 5. Maybe the 4 is actually where they have it officially. 8:08 to play. Trojans taking advantage of a blocked punt. A partially blocked punt. And great field position. This thing started at the 29-yard line 4 minutes ago. Using it all. Turn, nope, trying to get outside. Well played there. Creed Curran over to go with it. And a nice play there by number 22. That's Tucker Whitworth. Tucker's their leading tackler. Over 70 tackles on the season coming to this ball game for Whitworth. And he showed why there on a good play there. It's a loss of 6 on the play.
Yeah, definitely helped when he come in and didn't even really get touched on the way.
This is the 7th play of the drive. Again, it started 11:54. It was the start of the second quarter. The Trojans have trimmed this all the way down inside the 7 here on a drive that's going to go less than 30 yards. It's kind of uncanny. 1 wide receiver to the far side. Everybody bunched up to the near side on 2nd and goal from the 10. Turn, handoff McFarland. Little stutter step in the hole. Cam again up near the 3-yard line. He is running as well as he has all season. That's pretty rare, I'll be honest with you. For a guy coming off an ACL injury and a guy in his senior year, even though you're only 18 years old, 17, 18 years old, your body starts to break down even at this age. Eighth game of the season. And I think Cam is playing at the pinnacle of his abilities right now.
Yeah, he sure hasn't been playing like somebody come back from a knee surgery. Since game 1.
8th play of this drive. 6:36 to play in this first half. Siebert send a man in motion. That's McFarland. Fake it to him. Kyler will keep it himself, and he's going to be shy of the goal line. And this is going to be a big one here. I don't know if you go for it. I don't know what you do here. I don't even want to be in the shoes of Coach Philpott.
I think you go for it.
You're at the 1 yard line. Go for it on fourth down.
For it.
Maybe use a timeout here to discuss it.
You run that same play, except you hand it off to Camden when he comes around beside you. He beats him to the corner and scores.
You don't run directly at it, huh?
Nope. I don't think so.
They're going to take this clock down. They're going to call a timeout, and they're going to discuss it here with it'll be about 5:40 to play. I'd have ran some more time off the clock. 5:53 to play in this first half. The Trojans are trailed by 7, but knocking on the door. We're back in 30 seconds. You're watching Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan football.
For more than 20 years, Call Service has been serving Southeast Kansas. Right now, Call Service has a huge selection of hand-cooked tires, including hand-cooked Dynapro ATM. Farmers and ranchers trust Call Service as their trucks crisscross Southeast Kansas, providing on-the-farm tire service daily. Plus, Call's is the first stop for lube and oil changes. Get back in the game with your new set of hand-cooked tires, never halfway. Available now at Call Service. Check them out online at callservicellc.com or call 620-724-4121.
This is Trojan football.
Well, pretty good debate here during the break on what should be done here, and I think we narrowed it down to about 8 options. But we will see what the options are really once they run this play. A 4th down and goal from the 1 yard line. Here the Trojans trying to get this ball into the end zone and try to equalize things after a rough start. The Trojans, can they get it back? This will be the 10th play of this drive, again, that started at the Burlington 29-yard line to start the second quarter. 4th and goal at the 1. Siebert, snap back, turn, hand off McFarland, trying to pick his way. Cam leans forward. Is he in? Touchdown, Trojans! Camden McFarland caps it off on a 1 yard touchdown run by McFarland. And the Trojans have gotten to within 1 point to tie this game up.
I think that was your call in our break, wasn't it, BJ?
No, I think our cameraman had that one. Just run it up the gut, run between the tackles. I was calling a bootleg by the quarterback. You had him run to the edge. So, that's you did say put in the coach and let him run the ball from a yard out. He was not denied very many times from 1 yard out.
Pads. I don't think he would need pads.
It'll be a penalty flag coming in here on the point after attempt, and this is no. It'll be a. They'll move it half the distance. It'll be a move up to the 1.5 yard line. 5:49 to play. That drive took 6 minutes and 5 seconds off the clock. And now the Trojans maybe are going to talk about doing a 2-point conversion here, I believe. 5:49 to play. We've got the Girard National Bank halftime show come up in just a little bit. We'll have plenty to talk about. Been an exciting first half. When we do that, we'll try to get you some scores from around the area. As the coaches talk to the players there. Coach McFarland getting them fired up there. That is what he does best, for sure. I'm a guy who was motivated to run through brick walls for that guy. Good games going on around the area. There's a look at them. And we'll try to get you some scores of those ball games throughout Southeast Kansas here on the Girard National Bank halftime show. The Trojans and the Wildcats there in 4A District 3 in Anderson County and Iola, the backside of that district. And we will have that coming up for you in just a little bit. But first, the Trojans trying to just get a 2-point conversion or a PAT gone. We'll see what they decide to do. They called a timeout there. Coaches used 2 timeouts on the last 2 plays just to make sure he gets it right. And Trojans, a 2-point conversion. They'll run it. Siebert drops his shoulders, backing his way in. He's in! Touchdown! Trojans, Kyler Siebert on a 2-point conversion. And the Trojans take a 1-point lead, 15-14. They have battled back to have the lead here over Burlington at home in this district competition. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back. You're watching Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan football. is Trojan football.
5:49 to play in the first half. The Trojans have battled back from a 14-point deficit to get the lead, 15-14. Kickoff coming back to the near side is Cale Johnson trying to pick his way through there. And Johnson, wiry fella, is finally brought down across the 35 up near the 36. The Trojans got their first stop on defense a moment ago or earlier and forced a punt. On that punt, it was blocked. Trojans took over a drive. I've never seen this box score. From the 29, they went less than 30 yards, but it took them 10 plays, 6 minutes and 5 seconds time of possession, and finally capped off with a 1-yard touchdown run by Cam McFarland. Kyler Siebert had a 2-point conversion, quarterback keeper, and the Trojans go up 15-14.
I'm telling you, BJ, I'm over here looking at my stat sheet, and you take out those 2 plays, and they've dominated the game outside of that.
That's what they can do, though. They are a equalizer sometimes, and Connor Jeffers is the guy who can do it. Tackle made by Chandler Humble and Austin No, and he has got the football. It's a gain of about 5. He just does it pretty simply, quite frankly, does Jeffers. As this drive, where did it start? At the 38-yard line, and a gain of 5 just like that.
This is where they got to prove that they can go a couple of drives without giving up a big run.
Officials stopping the clock, and now they'll wind the play clock. There are the 2 guys in the backfield, 2 wings to the right side. Handoff this time is not to Jeffers and hit and brought down. And that's the other guy that's back there that joins him as kind of a running back quarterback, and we'll see he's close to a first down. That is a run there by Tanner Hess. Tegan Hess. I don't envy you, though, trying to keep stats because the Wildcats do run so many different players in and out of the ball games. Given it's mostly Tim that carries the football, but they do have a lot of different guys they bring onto the field. Good to see Will Rasnick come back into the ball game. He is out with a little bit of an ankle injury earlier on that last drive, and now he's back out there under 5 minutes to play in the first half. Trojans up by 1. Snap back, end around coming this way. Trojans bottled up, well played, coming down the line of scrimmage.
There we go.
Gets him down. There's Rasnick on cue. Will comes into the ball game, makes a nice play down the line of scrimmage. It's no gain on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 here for the Trojans. Austin No finds his way into the ball. A lot of plays on defense as well for the Trojans. Trojans had to burn 2 timeouts on that last drive, and that's important to get those and get the points, but we'd like to have those if you can get a stop here and have an opportunity to maybe go down one more time. Shotgun Jeffers right side, turn back inside, and I'll tell you what, Kyler Siebert having himself a ball game defensively. He comes off that left side and sets the edge. That's what he has to do. He has to come in, be tough, and turn everything back inside because that's where all your help is on the inside of that play. And Kyler Siebert using his strength to set the edge and turn it back and make only just a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job of that. You know, both those runs come. Those long ones come through the middle. So let's see if they go back to the well here.
3rd down and 8 here for the Wildcats. Up the middle for Jeffers. He's got a big run. Cuts back against the grain. Trojans got to get him. Creed Curran's only man. Can he make the tackle? He does. But there is another big play from midfield all the way up to the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 35 on a run by Connor Jeffers. And it'll bring up a 1st down and 10 from the 16-yard line. A gain of 34 officially. And it'll bring up 1st and 10 here with 3:37 to play in the first half. It'll take us the entire first half to recap this first half, the way these game has gone back and forth in this one. Trojans need a stop. They just can't make the stop when they have it on 3rd down. Snap, Jeffers, turn, handoff. Johnson coming back.
Their play.
Picked his way through and dragging defenders. Good hard run by that. Well, again, wiry fella, and he goes in 15 yards. And on the 6th play of that drive, a 15-yard, it's the shortest one they've had by Cale Johnson, his 2nd of the ball game. He scored on the 2nd play from scrimmage. And just like that, they come back and take the lead back.
And it was the exact same play he scored on earlier.
It was that little end around on the inside handoff, or send him in motion and give it to him on the inside hands-off. Here's Jeffers rolling, looks back against the grain, has his man. That's Fiedler. And he makes the catch on the 2-point conversion. And it's now 22-15. Back and forth we go. Where we stop, nobody knows. Back to a 7-point contest. Trojans trail by 7. We're back in 30 seconds. You're watching Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan football.
Chicken Annie's Girard is a proud supporter of Trojan athletics. Chicken Annie's of Girard serves up the area's best fried chicken and a whole lot.
Wildcats answer back. 6 plays, go 62 yards, and cap it off with a 15-yard touchdown run by Cale Johnson. His second touchdown of the ball game. 2-point conversion was a pass from Jeffers to Fiedler, and makes it a 7-point game. 22-15, 3:15 to play in the first half. Trojans trail once again. They're going to get the ball back, though, as the Wildcats will come on and kick it from right to left. We will see what the Trojan offense can answer back here. Short kick can be fielded by Lallman on the far side. Caden, good run back and up across the 35, up near the 36-yard line. And so that's where the Trojans will start at their own 30. They put it at the 35. I thought that was across the 35. But 3:10, plenty of time. Trojans. Now, remember last time the Trojans took 6:05 to go from 29 yards out. By that assessment, it should take them about an hour and a half to get from here to there. But we will see. That's okay. Run plenty of time off the clock. But now you got to score with 3:10 and only one timeout remaining.
Yeah, I'm not sure that they run the risk of giving it back to them too fast.
Here's Thomason. He'll catch that edge. Well blocked. Cut back against the grain. Still on his feet, but tripped up. Boy, good play. Cale Johnson again makes the play. It's a gain of 5, maybe 6 on the play. And it'll get across the 45 and a gain of 6 to bring up a second down and 4 here for the Trojans. And there needs to be a little bit of a sense of urgency. You want to pick up a first down. Certainly, like you said, don't leave too much time on the clock. Frontenac up 14-0 over Columbus. In Columbus, that's a surprising score just brought to us here by Josh. It's in Frontenac. Okay, well, there you go. Handoff Curran. Creed backing his way forward. He's going to have a couple on second down and 5. It'll be a gain of 3 to bring up a second down and 2, or third down and 2 rather, for the Trojans.
Gotta like these third and short situations a whole lot better.
2:14 to play in the first half. Trojans trail by 7. They came back from a 14-point hole, got to in front by 1. And another update. We'll get all our updates, scores there at halftime, but Cherryville all over Riverton 22-0 in 3A district play. And Camden trying to get a first down. He can't do it. Hitting the backfield. Just too much penetration there on the Trojans' offensive line. Let too many guys through, and Cam couldn't get the touch there, get the first down. And now you got yourself a decision to make, because you can try to get it, and if you do, you can run out this first half. If you decide to punt it, you're going to give the ball back to the Wildcats with plenty of time to run a couple of plays. And again, they've been able to get big plays in this ball game. Do you trust your defense to stop this offense of the Wildcats? They're going to run plenty of time off the clock. They're going to run this down. They get it down to about a minute 18. They'll get it down to about a minute 8 by the time they can call a timeout and run their final timeout of the ball game. Labette County looking to get a district championship and certainly take the driver's seat, as they were 1-0. They're against 1-0 Chanute, 21-0 against Chanute in that ball game in the second quarter. Trojans take a timeout with a minute 10 to play in the first half. They'll have a decision to make here on fourth down. We'll talk about it when we get back on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan football.
First National Bank of Girard is proud to be the oldest bank in Crawford County, serving the area since 1878. With 139 years of experience, it's no surprise First National Bank of Girard has such a great reputation for quality customer service. First National Bank of Girard is committed to providing the best quality products and services, including online banking and bill pay, loans, CDs, and more. Use the convenient drive-up window or come on in and see all of the friendly faces at First National Bank of Girard, a proud supporter of Trojan Athletics.
This is Trojan football.
1:10 to play in this first half. Trojans trail 22-15 to Burlington. A couple more scores to pass along to you. Pittsburgh High all over Wichita North. They're out at in Wichita Metro, 28-0. Humboldt and Jayhawk Lynn. That's a de facto, I think, district championship as well. 16-14. Humboldt in the first. Humboldt and Jayhawk Lynn. So Uniontown wasn't involved in that at all. I don't know why I even said that word. They're going to punt this ball away. I think that's the right decision. We were talking about that as well here in the break. And Lallman come on and just get a good boot into it. Kick this thing down the field. Take a little Trojan roll. And it'll finally die there at about the 22-yard line. And so the Trojans punt it away and give it back here with 1:01 to play. You got to hold for a minute and 1 second. Don't give up this touchdown here, as Burlington will have to go the length of the field for the most part. They'll start at their own 22-yard line with 1:01 to play in the first half. Down 22-15.
Well, if you didn't need a stop from your defense earlier, you definitely need it now. Going in, a touchdown behind is one thing, but getting right back where you were after you fought and dug yourself out of the hole is not where you want to be.
There's shotgun set again for those two guys. Jeffers looking downfield, draw play. Bounce it outside, and down the sidelines he goes. Here he goes. Creed Curran's going to have to try to get him, and just like that, Jeffers on a draw play takes it 78 yards for a touchdown. And it was a tough decision there for the Trojans, and Jeffers, 78 yards. Good night. On one play. They've had drives of 2 plays and that drive of 1 play.
Wow.
And no Trojans in sight up the middle of the field. Good play call by their coaching staff. And now they'll line up to go for 2 once again. Shotgun back to him. Jeffers going to pull it down again. He'll be stopped shy. A penalty flag's going to come in as well. We'll wait and see what that was. But, man, you can kind of feel it in our voice as we came back from that break. Penalty flag ends up being against Burlington, so the 2-point will be no good on a holding penalty. And so it'll remain 28-15. Trojans are going to have to dig out of another 2-touchdown deficit in this ball game. If they can do that, it would be incredible. We'll see if they can. We're back in 30 seconds. You're watching Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan football.
Croc-In Telephone Cooperative has been serving Girard in southeast Kansas for 65 years. In 1952, we helped our members connect with each other using telephone lines. Today, we connect our members with the entire world using fiber optics. While the technology has changed, our commitment to deliver it to our members has not. Check us out on the web at ckt.net.
This is Trojan football.
We have determined that Connor Jeffers can run the 78-yard dash in 14 seconds because that's how long that drive lasted, and he capped it off on that long touchdown run. 78 yards on 1 play.
And he is quickly proving that the best way for the Trojans
your key to the game is looking accurate, is it not?
To defend is to keep the ball on their hands.
Yep. Try to find number 10. Here's the biggest, meanest-looking kicker in southeast Kansas.
I don't know. Boatman was up there.
Yeah, he was big.
He's out
big,
this week, but
he's out. Well, certainly he is the one that's active. 45, Jacob Hawkins, 6'2", 225. Good-looking dude. And he is going to have about an 8-yard approach to this one. Put that right foot into it.
You're always partial to these big guys.
Yep. Here's a return by Creed Curran, fielded at the 19-yard line. Creed cut back against the grain. Good run, breaks the tackle. Nice run by Creed. Up across there, that's a 22-yard return by Creed Curran. And the Trojans will get the ball here with 41 seconds to play. And we'll see what the Trojans decide to do. There's a couple of conventional wisdoms here. Just take a knee and go into the locker room and lick your wounds after climbing your way back to a 1-point lead after trailing 14-0. Or take a couple shots down the field, but the last thing you want to do is give them the football back because you have proven that at times cannot get a stop. Yep. Two wide receivers to the far side, one to the near side. Rasnick is the wing to the near side. Turn, handoff McFarland trying to pick his way through, and Cam will roll forward for about a gain of 2 or 3. Now, the Wildcats have, I think, 2 or all of their timeouts. You wonder maybe if they think the same thing, that they all they need is a second, like you said, so maybe take some time out. But they're not going to do that. Trojans going to be able to run this clock out. In fact, they do not need to snap the football. And if that's the case, then you don't. And I think Kyler just recognized that. Coach Philpott tells him you don't need to snap it. And 4 seconds, we'll see. They do snap it. Siebert going to run up the middle. See, that's all you're doing is asking for that. It's disaster there as well, because if you don't need to snap it, you don't. But they do right there, and so the Trojans are going to have themselves in another deficit. What a ball game so far in this first half. We'll talk about it next. We got a lot to recap as the Trojans right now trail 28-15 here at halftime. We'll talk about it next on the Girard National Bank halftime show. We've got your halftime stats, your Kennard Eye Care Eye on the Game recap, and some halftime scoreboard updates, all that and more to come here on the Girard National Bank halftime show. Girard National Bank has been bringing you community banking at its best. They are committed to providing customers with the highest quality financial services in a friendly and personal way. Personal, business, or agricultural needs, turn to Girard National Bank. Trojans trail 28-15. We're back in 2 minutes on the Girard National Bank halftime show on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan football.
Girard National Bank brings you community banking at its best. Family owned and operated for over 80 years, Girard National Bank is committed to providing their customers with the highest quality financial services in a friendly and personal way. Girard National Bank is big enough to handle all of your banking needs, yet small enough to provide you with that personal touch you've grown to expect from a community bank. Girard National Bank is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. Learn more at gn-bank.com.
G&W Foods is the one-stop shop for everything you need to feed the family. With a great selection of quality, fresh, and delicious foods, you're sure to find something to satisfy every appetite. With friendly and knowledgeable staff, the folks at G&W Foods can help you find what you need so you can get in, get out, and on your way with your day. Plus, don't forget G&W Foods for the great daily lunch specials. Open 7 days a week. Check out their weekly Facebook-only specials. The G&W Foods family super wishes the Girard Trojans the best of luck.
For over 80 years, Evans Motors has provided some of the best handshakes in the four-state area. No matter what type of handshake a situation calls for, Evans Motors will guide the hand into its proper position with the correct amount of pressure. Risky handshakes, classic handshakes, or something in between, Nate and Eddie have an arsenal of shakes, roughly umpteen. So the next time you want an optimal handshake, come to Evans Motors in Pittsburgh.
If you're in the market to buy or sell a house, land, or commercial space, look no further than Lehman Realty. Locally owned and operated, Jason Lehman and his staff are ready to meet the needs of every client. When it comes to your listing, you can trust that Lehman Realty will take the time to get to know you and your property. Lehman Realty is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Learn more at www.lehmanrealty.net or call Jason at 620-724-8020.
This is Trojan football.
Painted black.
Back out here at halftime, the Girard Trojans trailing the Burlington Wildcats 28. Had that score there, 28-15. Here at halftime, the Trojans, this has been a dandy of a first half. I'll tell you how we got to where we are here on the Kennard Eye Care Eye on the Game, brought to you by Kennard Eye Care. Thanks to the support from their community, Kennard Eye Care has doubled their space and extended their hours with locations in both Pittsburgh and Girard. Kennard Eye Care is the clear choice. Kennard Eye Care, 620-235-1737. Trojans won the opening toss, elected to defer. That's a key point because they're going to get the football here to start this second half, which will be crucial to them being able to come back in this ball game. Burlington started their drive at their own 39-yard line. 2 plays later, they're scoring on a 57-yard Cale Johnson touchdown run. So just like that, 2 plays of the ball game, they go 61 yards. 57-yard touchdown run with 11:09 to play in the first quarter. 2-point conversion was good on a run by Connor Jeffers, made it 8-0. Trojans get the ball back. They go 4 plays and give it back and punt it away. Get it to Burlington. Burlington will take over their own 28-yard line with 8:54 to play in the first quarter. They go 6 plays this time. They take a little more clock that time. They take 2 minutes and 59 seconds off the clock, but the result's the same. A 6-play, 72-yard drive, capped off on a 60-yard touchdown run by Connor Jeffers, his first of the half. The 2-point conversion was no good, and it made it, at that point, 14-0. Trojans get the ball back, and they'll finally answer as they take over at the 50-yard line. And they go 6 plays, 50 yards, and cap it off on a 7-yard touchdown run by Cam McFarland. The point after attempt was good, and it made it 14-7 at that point with 2:18 to play in the first quarter. Trojans kick it away to Burlington, and Burlington fumbles on the kickoff return. Trojans jump on top of it. They've got it in business at the 30-yard line inside Burlington territory. 1 play and an interception thrown by Kyler Siebert. Just not a very well-executed play and a questionable play call by the Trojans. And the Burlington gets it back. But the Trojan defense, to their credit, Burlington takes over at their own 5-yard line. They kind of put together a decent drive, but eventually the Trojans do force them into punt as we go into the second quarter. So we flip the field on that punt attempt. That was the first play of the second quarter, and the Trojans get a hand on it, partially block it, and the Trojans get great field position as they take over at the Burlington 29-yard line, going in with 11:54 to play in the first half. So the Trojans go 10 plays on that drive. They take 6 minutes and 5 seconds off the clock and cap it off at a 1-yard touchdown run by Cam McFarland, his second of the ball game. The 2-point conversion was good on a quarterback keeper by Kyler Siebert. And just like that, the Trojans are now in front 15-14 with 5:49 to go in the half. 15-14 with 5:49 to go in the half. The Trojans were in front, but don't go away just yet because Burlington can score in a hurry. Burlington takes over the football at their own 38-yard line with 5:46 to go. They go 6 plays, 62 yards, and cap it off on a 15-yard touchdown run by Cale Johnson. They went down the field in a hurry. 2-point conversion was good on a pass from Jeffers to Fiedler. And so the Wildcats go up 22-15 at that point. The Trojans get the ball back at their own 35-yard line with 3:10 to play. Really, the Trojans just need to pick up a couple first downs, go into the locker room only down by a touchdown, and feeling pretty good about yourself because it could have been a lot worse. On a 4th down and 1, they decide to punt it away. It was at the 40-yard line or so. It's a tough decision by Coach Philpott. He probably will regret that decision because they give it to Burlington. Burlington takes over at their own 22-yard line with 1:01 to play in the ball game. And Connor Jeffers goes 78 yards to the house on the first play from scrimmage on that one. They go for 2, don't get it, and makes it 28-15, which is our halftime score. The Trojans get the ball back at their own 41-yard line, run 1 play, and the clock runs out in the first half. But it was a dandy of a first half. The Trojans overcome one 14-point deficit. Can they overcome a second? We will see in just a little bit. We're in the middle of the Girard National Bank halftime show. 28-15 is your score. We're going to step away, take another break. We'll come back and get your scores around the area and your halftime stats next on the Girard National Bank halftime show on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan football.
Thanks to your support, Kenora Eye Care has expanded. With double the space, they offer more exam rooms, larger optical selection, and extended hours to fit your schedule. And with the latest technology, they can quickly diagnose any eye-related issues. All patients are welcome at Kenora Eye Care, the clear choice for your family's vision.
Peony Dental is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. Chris Peony DDS offers exceptional dentistry for all ages in a friendly atmosphere. In fact, Chris Peony has been caring for smiles since 1993. No wonder so many Trojan fans look so good. Peony Dental offers preventative care, Invisalign, whitening, bridges, crowns, and more. Stop by today and ask about the all-new CEREC dental system, offering same-day crowns, start to finish, right there in the office. To learn more, visit them at 106 South Ozark in Girard or go online to peonydental.com.
Producers Co-op of Girard has been serving the needs of farmers and ranchers in southeast Kansas for decades. With a wide range of products and services, you'll be sure to find what you're looking for. Contact the Agronomy Center for seed recommendations, seed treatments, crop scouting, and more. or stop by the farm store for feeds, equipment, supplies, clothing, and accessories. Producers Co-op also has bulk fuels and propane available. To see everything Producers Co-op Association has to offer, visit them online at www.girardcoop.com or give them a call at 620-724-8241.
For all your insurance and financial service needs, call your State Farm agent TJ Belcher in Girard today.
This is Trojan football.
Combined Girard High School marching band and Girard Middle School marching band. The future there for
some talent there.
Willie Beatty and his. Yeah, they are good. Well, good entertainment. They go off in a formation G as they start to saunter. They're at the 30, the 25, the 20. We're at halftime with this one. The Girard National Bank halftime show. The Girard Trojans trail 28-15 here at the halftime break, and doing a good job. You are hustling over there for sure on the stats for sure in this one, but the all kinds of good numbers and some bad numbers to pass your way. Halftime stats are brought to you by Exchange State Bank, one of the oldest banks in Southeast Kansas. Exchange State Bank is proud to be locally owned and operated, providing quality customer service, online banking, bill pay, mobile banking, and more. At Exchange State Bank, you're not just dealing with bank employees, you're banking with your friends. Learn more at esbks.com. Zach?
Hey, you know, as a team, the Trojans got 108 yards on the ground and 5 receiving yards and with 2 touchdowns. So it looks pretty good. You know, McFarland's got 10 carries for 39 yards. Sieber's got 8 carries for 29 yards. So, you know, lots of carries, not moving tons of ground. But unfortunately, the story of the scoreboard goes to the other side. You got number 10, Connor Jeffers with 11 carries and 191 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, he was averaging over 250 yards a game on the all-purpose yards and doing some through the air and through on the ground as well. And so he gets almost his average in the first half.
But what about Cale Johnson?
Yeah.
2 carries, 72 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Excuse me. So yeah, this is definitely not what we're hoping to see at the halftime mark. The fact that they're still in the game,
Yep.
You know, they overcome the deficit in the first half. See if they can do it again in the second half.
Yeah, there's a couple of schools of thought there was. Do you feel like they're playing with a little bit of funny money if they're getting big plays there? But, boy, they can score at about any time because of the way the Trojans are not doing a great job against that defense. Time to look at your halftime scoreboard update brought to you by Brocob Construction, where they specialize in new home construction. To learn more or to get a free estimate, call Matt Brocob at 620-687-2381. Some scores to pass along to you. One of I think, relevance here for the Trojans fans. Depending on how this ball game goes, it could be their opponent. If they can get into the district, get in either the first place or second place in district, they'll play either Columbus or Frontenac most likely. Frontenac right now 14-0 over Columbus in that ball game. That is I think, surprising score for me. Cherryvale all over Riverton at the half, 22-0. Lebec County 21-0 over Chanute. Last update in the second quarter, Pittsburgh High all over Wichita North. A get-right game for the Purple Dragons, or get-well game again. I guess they had a good win over Bonner Springs last week, but get themselves ready for Week 9 as they will be in the playoffs at that point. Jayhawk Lynn 20-16 over Humboldt. So Jayhawk Lynn coming back in that ball game second quarter in there. Caney Valley all over Neodesha 33-7 in the second quarter. Our regular update from Western Kansas, Phillipsburg, one of the top teams in Western Kansas. I do know something about Phillipsburg. They are, I think, defending 3A state champions as well. 28-0 over Norton, the alma mater of Coach Philpott. Thank you, Josh, for that one. And Dandy, Fort Scott and Paola. I completely screwed up our schedule on the weekly schedule update because I had Fort Scott playing Ottawa today. So they are playing Paola, and so that is a good game, a district, I think, championship game in that one. Fort Scott and Paola all knotted up at 13 apiece at halftime in that ball game. And so those are your halftime scoreboard update brought to you by Brocob Construction. We're going to step away, take another quick break. We'll come back and start to get you ready for second half action here from Girard. The Trojans and the Wildcats. Right now the score 28-15 at halftime.
Sports Live.
For more than 20 years, Call Service has been serving Southeast Kansas. Right now, Call Service has a huge selection of hand-cooked tires, including hand-cooked Dynapro ATM. Farmers and ranchers trust Call Service as their trucks crisscross Southeast Kansas, providing on-the-farm tire service daily. Plus, Calls is the first stop for lube and oil changes. Get back in the game with your new set of hand-cooked tires, never halfway. Available now at Call Service. Check them out online at callservicellc.com or call 620-724-4121.
McClellan Sanitation is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. McClellan Sanitation is also proud to have been serving Girard and the surrounding area for decades. McClellan Sanitation offers residential, commercial, and roll-off services. As a locally owned and operated company, owners Dave and Candy McClellan and their employees are dedicated to providing the highest quality customer service. To learn more, call McClellan Sanitation at 620-724-8486. McClellan Sanitation wishes the Girard Trojans the best of luck this season.
Are you in need of post-surgical therapies for yourself or a loved one? The employees of Medical Lodges are here to care for you. With over 50 years of serving the community, they pride themselves on having the therapy experience you deserve. In fact, Medical Lodges is the first healthcare company in the United States to be 100% employee-owned. So when you're at Medical Lodges, you're part of the family. Stop by one of their homes today and feel the Medical Lodges difference. For more information, check out medicallodges.com.
Norris Outdoor has a huge selection of quality billboards spread throughout Southeast Kansas, giving you the ability to put your business in front of thousands of customers daily. But did you know? Norris Outdoor can also be where you get your next digital sign for your business, school, church, or sports venue. Norris Outdoor Signs is now a distributor of Sky Slate digital signs, giving you direct from the manufacturer pricing and giving your business a brand new look with high-resolution digital signage. To learn more, call Jared Norris at 620-249-7462. Norris Outdoor is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans.
Chicken Annie's Girard is a proud supporter of Trojan Athletics. Chicken Annie's of Girard serves up the area's best fried chicken and a whole lot more. Check out their weekly specials like chicken and
protection products, and seed. But Ag Choice is also the first stop for keeping your livestock operation going, with a great selection of farm supplies, equipment, and quality feeds. To find solutions to all of your agricultural needs, contact Joe Murphy of Ag Choice of Hepler at 620-368-4347. Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans.
This is Trojan football.
Just about ready to go here for second half action. The Girard Trojans and the Burlington, you can leave that on, Josh. The Burlington Wildcats here in this one. Trojans trail 28-15 here at halftime as we get ready for the second half. Trojans will be back home next week to welcome in the Iola Mustangs here at Frank Jameson Field for the regular season finale. Hopefully the Trojans are playing for another district championship like they did last year against the Iola Mustangs. Now, Iola had beaten Burlington in week 1. They did not do that this week, so this really is a pretty important ball game. Trojans have already battled back from a 14-point deficit once in this game. Now they find themselves in a 13-point hole as we get ready to start second half action. Second half kickoff, like the first, brought to you by Larrett Ceramics. Larrett Ceramics is, I should have this memorized by now, 503 West Maple in Girard. Stop by Larrett Ceramics for great gift ideas, supplies, and get creative when it comes to gift buying. Get your friends and family a beautiful ceramic piece or maybe even glasses from Larrett Ceramics. Call 620-724-8442. Remember, the Trojans won the opening toss, and so they are elected to defer, and so they are going to get the football coming out of the locker room. They'll be going from right to left. It's cooled off a little bit outside. That wind's kind of blowing in our window here and turned into a traditional, a little bit of Americana, cool fall evening. Going to bounce. McFarland's going to get a good return up across from the 14-yard line to the 20. Far side return, and Cam will change directions, and a host of Wildcats jump on top of him. It's only about a 2 or 3 yard return. And so Girard will have it to start this second half at their own 17-yard line. 16, 17-yard line is where they're going to mark this ball down. Calling it the 17. Here with 11:53 to play, just underway in this second half. Again, there's plenty of time. Trojans can run their full arsenal of plays and don't have to get cute, don't have to get stressed. Just do what they were doing, because at times in that first half they were able to gash Burlington. Right now they have to come back again in this ball game. Siebert, run option, right side, plenty of time. Decides to just barrel forward and get across the 20 and stretch that thing out there. They were kind of slow playing it, were the Wildcats, and really doing a nice job to kind of stretch things out. And never really had an opportunity to really read it or kick it outside. Just a gain of 1 on the play to bring up a second down and 9.
Just outside their own 20-yard line. Second down and 8 to go.
Second down and 9 for the Trojans. Ball at the 20-yard line. Trojans just trying to get something going here to get this second half started. 2 wide receivers near side, 1 to the far side. That's Shirtano. Sincurran in motion to the short side. Handoff McFarland. Cam trying to break forward. A good play up front again by the Wildcats. Tackle made in there by number 20 for them. All the things I have in front of me, the roster is the most important. There it is. And 20, Brett Bobber. 5'10", 155-pound junior. Gain of 1, maybe 2 on the play. We'll call it 2. And it'll bring up a third down and 7 for the Trojans. Shirtano will split out to the near side. The wing to this near side will be Raznick. Flip McFarland to the left of Siebert, and he'll look to the sideline for the play. Now he'll flip him back to the right. 4 seconds on the play clock. 3. Siebert, low snap, straight drop, pressure comes. He's got to avoid one guy. Can he? He does. Now he's outside. He needs to keep looking downfield. Does Kyler, because Gabe Shirtano ended up being wide open on the near side because he was scrambling and his guy went off of him. You got to keep your eyes downfield until you get close to the line of scrimmage. Instead, unfortunately for the Trojans, it goes backwards, and it'll be a punting situation here for Girard after too much pressure. Should have never had to be scrambling in the first place. The O-line has struggled at times tonight in this game as well, and so it'll be a punt for the Trojans.
McFarland got a nice block back there that saved him from punting out of the end zone here.
Lallman will stand at his own 3-yard line. High snap, but he'll pull it down. Fiedler nearly gets it. Does he get it? I think he might have got it.
Might have got a finger on that one.
And so the Wildcats are going to have great field position there. Fiedler, big body coming in there, and Caden rather taking way too much time. And so that's where that drive will end, and the Wildcats are going to have excellent field position as Burlington will have it inside Trojan territory at the 36-yard line. Here with 9:35 to play in the third quarter. Trojans have won 3 straight district championships, looking for 4, but going to have to overcome some adversity here tonight. 2 men in the backfield. Jeffers spins it twice and then kick it outside. Man, he's just kind of a gamer is what Connor Jeffers is. Kind of one of those just good high school football players. He's got a little savvy to him, and that should have been bottled up, but at the last second, I think he did a rotation and a half, and on the second time around, he kicks back and decides to give it to Cale Johnson. And it'll be just a gain of 2 on the play. It'll bring up a second down and 8 here for Burlington, just across the 35 up to the 34. See what the Trojan defense can do here. This would be a big stop if they can hold them. Fiedler will split out to the far side. 2 men to the left of the line of scrimmage and the 2 men in the backfield. Jeffers just going to keep it off the left side. A big blocks up front. Penalty flag comes in. And it's going to be a holding penalty against the Burlington Wildcats most likely, but they just flat walled down the Trojan defense on that play side. And he was a couple yards downfield before he even got any contact, but I think it's going to be against the Wildcats. Bring Chandler Humble in to discuss it with the official, the white hat. It's from the spot, which is about the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard beyond it. So it'll bring up about a second down and 18, I think, when this thing gets set down finally. 8:50 to play in the third quarter. 28-15, Trojans trail. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 16, they say here. Shotgun here. Trojan D trying to get a stop. Jeffers, goodness, coming this way. Johnson, he is shot out of a cannon coming to the near side, but Trojans track him down. Creed Curran, Chandler Humble as well. If you never get a chance, which most Trojan fans are watching here online or they're in the stands, to see Lamar Tigers play, and Lamar's won 6 straight state titles at the Class 2 level in Missouri, take that play there by like 20 times 20 on execution and then have better athletes. And that explains why they won 6 straight state titles, because it's hard to defend.
And that's no knock against the
no, absolutely
team,
not.
That was clean.
Oh,
that
yeah,
was
very
efficient.
clean and tough. The Trojan defense, see if they can step up here on 3rd down and 11. Snaps back. Jeffers going to roll out, looking downfield. Rasnick giving pressure. Finds himself behind. Penalty flag comes down there. Austin No going to try to run him out of bounds. We'll see if he's got it close to a first down. He does have a first down, but we'll see with the penalty flag. It sits there at the line of scrimmage. And it may be a legal formation, legal procedure against the Wildcats, depending on where this is at. Or it could be offsides against Girard. We'll see what the White Hat has to say on this one. It is a legal procedure against the Wildcats. Trojans get another big break because that was going to be a first down. It was a gain of about 12 on the play.
Yeah, they gained about 20 yards to get that first down, and that was a huge break for these guys.
Drive started at the 36, and it sits at the 36 after some penalties.
Because you got to think that if they don't hold here and get the ball back and do something with it, then that hole is really hard to get out of.
Absolutely.
And it's looking really bad.
7:48 to play in the 3rd quarter. This has been a rapidly moving ball game. Other than a lot of scoring has kind of slowed things down, but between the quarters, it has been. Trojans had a 6-minute drive at one point. A 6-minute drive that started at the opponent's 29-yard line, which is wacky. So they back them up 5 yards, make a 3rd down and 15. Make a stop here, boys. Trojans will come out. Match up here on the near side with 2 wide receivers. Jeffers going to keep it himself up the middle. Breaking through tackles, trying to get to the edge, and he's going to be close to another first down there. He just keep it on his feet, and he does. He gets to the 25. That's about where he needed to be. He needed to get to about the 26-yard line, and it's a gain of 11 gain of about 16 on 3rd down and 15. And that's all he needed. 1 more yard, and that was enough to get the first down.
Not good when your safeties and cornerbacks are tackling the quarterback over and over.
Gets him up near 200 yards rushing in this ballgame, I would suspect. He'll look to pass now, drop straight back, plenty of time, no pressure. Chandler Humble gets it, strokes him. And that's our big hit of the game. What a big hit by Chandler Humble. You didn't get a chance to see it. Josh was following the ball like he should, but Chandler Humble strokes the quarterback Jeffers. He's slow to get up. He will. Hit of the game brought to you by Bradshaw Collision Repair. If a deer ends up tackling your car like Chandler just did Connor Jeffers, take it to Bradshaw Collision Repair. Bob Bradshaw offers refinishing, paintless dent repair, and glass replacement and more. Let Bradshaw Collision Repair get you back in the game. Call 620-724-7300. Trojans defend the pass there and hit in the hands of that big fella. Number 45, Jacob Hawkins. Jacob Hawkins, big dude. Official ended up on the ground somehow. Hawkins would be this game's Dalton Duke for me.
Dalton Duke. we were talking about this.
We made him famous. Because we had people hitting our Facebook page up talking about Dalton Duke, and there's Chandler Humble. Equally awesome as he bottles him up there on a 3rd down and 10. And it's a 4th down and 12 now. A big play there by the Wildcat, by the Trojans. And see if this Trojan D can hold here. This drive coming up on 2.5 minutes old now. Jeffers and shotgun set here on 4th down and 12. Snap to Jeffers. Straight drop. Pressure coming. Chandler Humble trying to get to him. Lets it fly. He's going over the top. Incomplete. Trojans hold. What a big stop by the Trojan defense on a 4th and 12. They bend but don't break. And the ball goes back to the Trojans on a turnover on downs. Here was 6:52 to play in this 3rd quarter.
And a heck of an effort by Chandler Humble to get through that hold and still get in his face and break that up.
So the Trojans are going to have it. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Trojans are going to have it at the 28-yard line. Here was 6:52 to play in this 3rd quarter. Trojans down by 13. At 13, remember that. That is a kind of a scary number to be down by, or be up by. Swing pass out to McFarland. Stop. Puts his foot in the ground, and Jeffers on top of him. That was just a race to a point, and pretty well executed, just well defended by them. It's a loss of 4 on the play. First down passes are not my favorite. If you watch this broadcast, you are more than aware of that. But brought down and a loss of 4 on the play to bring up a second down and 14 for the Trojans. And the Trojans will have to overcome this here. Get the play signaled in from the sideline. Wide receiver to the far side is Shirtano. 2 to the near side. In the slot is Curran. Farland back there with Siebert. Here goes Curran in motion. Turn, handoff. Farland up the middle. Cam's got a big run again. Across the 35. Penalty flag's going to come in there, and it's probably going to be holding. Unfortunately, it's going to be holding. It was a first down carry, but I think Chase Bryant's going to get called for a penalty there at the point of attack. Looked like a pancake block to me, but up to the 35-yard line. And, yeah, they'll back him up. There's a gain of 14 on the play, but unfortunately it's going to take him. It'll be a spot foul, so they may get a yard out of it by the time this gets marked off, because it'll go back to the 25-yard line. The ball was at the 24. And so that's where they'll put it down, right at the 25-yard line. So is that officially a gain of 1 or no play? They bring a second down and about 12 down for the Trojans here with just under 6 minutes to play in the third quarter. But you see how that run up the middle has been effective. Trojans have had it working. But you go to a first down and 10 play, first and 10, and you throw it, and they have a 4-yard loss. Now you've got to overcome that. We'll see if the Trojans can go to the ground again. Siebert, busted play. Kyler went to his right, and Cam came to the left, and so somebody mishandled that one, misread that one, and it's going to be a short gain on the play, maybe up to the original line of scrimmage here for the Trojans. And it'll bring up a third down and 10 here for Girard. 5:19 to play in this third quarter. Trojans have had not much offense in this third quarter. They had a 3-play and out, and now they're looking at 3rd and 10 at the 27.
You definitely have me on board with your way of thinking with the first down passing attempt. We've seen it over and over.
Yep.
Unfortunately, you've been right more often than not.
Unfortunately, I saw it a lot on Saturdays for the Gorillas, and they've changed their way of thinking for sure. Here's Siebert on 3rd and 10, going to let one fly. He's got Curran down deep. He makes the catch. What a catch by Creed Curran, and then the ball comes out. Oh, it was caught at the 40.
It looked like he had it. Rolled over and then it come out.
Coach Philpott and all the Trojan faithful want to say he had the catch, and it came out after he made the catch.
I mean, that might be my homer tendencies, but I'm saying that was definitely a catch.
It was close. They've gone to now, you got to follow through and finish through the catch and all that stuff. It was a really well-placed ball by Kyler Siebert and a good catch. Good extension there by Creed. Just couldn't come away with it.
Pretty spiral in just the exact right spot.
Trojans will have to punt it again here. Lolleman is at the 11-yard line. Got to get quicker. He's got to get quicker getting that ball away. Fiedler is coming through, and Trojans are going to get a good roll. And poor Gage Chitano just couldn't get out of the way fast enough. And that'll be a punt, and so that's where the Trojans will have to stop him again. As Burlington will have it at their own 43-yard line, 42-yard line, here with 4:37 to go in the third quarter. Trojans had an answer for him there. That was a short field. Remember, Burlington started that drive at the Girard 36-yard line a moment ago, and the Trojans held him out. After they ran 9 plays on that drive, Trojans were able to keep him out of the end zone, and they see if they can do it here with not as good a field position. Jeffers will get it off left side, just going to keep it himself. Easy run off the left side, and Trojans driving backward. I tell you what, dude, it's pretty good. TJ Lang, 6', 275, senior offensive lineman. There for the Wildcats is having himself a pretty good ball game up front for Burlington. It's a gain of 4, gain of 3 officially, and it'll bring up a second down at 7 for the Wildcats.
Yeah, there's a good bet when you see 3, 4, 5 Trojans falling backwards like that. He's in there with them.
2 quarterbacks again. Jeffers, direct snap. And it'll be a gain of about 2 or 3. Up short of the 50-yard line up to the 49. It'll be, gain about 4 yards. It'll bring up a third down and 7. Whoa.
3-yard gain, bring up third down and 4 for Burlington.
Scared me.
From their own 40-yard
Screen went dark on me, but we're still up and running. They've got all kinds of people watching, so that's good. That is a good thing. Trojans trying to get another hold on third down and 4. See if they can hold them. Jeffers goes up the line of scrimmage and steps back. Any doubt that he's the one getting the ball. Snap to him. He'll go left side trying to get outside. Trojans stretch it, stretch it, stretch it, stretch it. And they hold. Chandler Humble. Kyler Siebert comes on the back of him and makes the play. Well executed defensively by the Girard Trojans. Kyler Siebert leading the charge, and Chandler Humble coming from that play side DN spot gets him down, and it's a no gain on the play to bring up another punting situation here for the Wildcats, or do they? We will see. So far, they played the field position game. Conventional wisdom will tell you to punt it away up by 13, but nothing conventional about high school football these days. So fourth down and a long 3, maybe 4. They almost did it. They almost did it. And now Jeffers will. Good call on your part.
All right. I'm learning something.
We're making a broadcaster out of you, aren't we? 2:31 to play in this third quarter. Trojans trail by 13. Can they come back? They've had 2 defensive stops. We'll see what they do next on 4th and 4. You're watching Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan football.
Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Of course, Ag Choice has all the products you need to keep your crops growing, like fertilizer, crop protection products, and seed. But Ag Choice is also the first stop for keeping your livestock operation going, with a great selection of farm supplies, equipment, and quality feeds. To find solutions to all of your agricultural needs, contact Joe Murphy of Ag Choice of Hepler at 620-368-4347. Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans.
This is Trojan football.
4th down and 4. Burlington comes on. We'll see what they're going to do. They lined up like they were going to run a play, and I think they're just trying the hard count and draw them off sides. Now they will come on and look like they might punt. Nope, they're going to back up, go for it on 4th and 4. Jeffers in there. He's going to turn, going to keep it himself up the middle. Trojans.
Got it.
Hold. Can they hold? Nope, just enough. He has got a canny way to be able to get just what he needs, and that time he does. Just 1 yard more. It's a gain of 5 when he needed 4. And a 4th down play. And so that moves the chains. That's a big one for the Burlington Wildcats.
I don't disagree with that. I think you go for that. You've got a good lead you're sitting on. The best that the Trojans can do is hope for hold the ball for a long time, run off. They're going to run off some time. I don't know.
They got to get some scores on the board. They got to get the ball back, though, and that means they got to make some stops here. First down and 10 from the 47-yard line. Turn handoff. And a carry. This is a new dude that's carrying the football, and maybe he's touched it once or twice. That's Jacob Jasper. He had carry early in the ball game. Jasper, 5'5", 140-pound senior. And
good for about 8.
Yeah, an 8-yard pickup there. Bring up a second down and 2. 1:46 in this third quarter. Well, the Trojans in that first half and the second quarter for sure held the ball a lot. Today, Burlington has got a lot of the time of possession. Trojans have not held the ball very long. Here, handoff up the middle, and boy, Stroke, another good hard play there. Ty Norris coming down to make the play for the Trojans on the hit against Tegan Hess. And Hess, not much there. Maybe a gain of a yard on the play to bring up a 3rd down and 1 here for the Wildcats. 1:28 to play in this third quarter. We'll start the play clock. 2 guys in the backfield. Hess is next to Jeffers. Hand off Jeffers. Or toss a hand, hike to Jeffers. Snap to Jeffers. He'll carry it up across the 35 up near the 30-yard line. A gain of 7 on the play. And just kind of picking his way through. And the dude's going to have a lot of yards by the time this game is over.
Well, now they're getting up here sniffing the end zone. Stop here would be huge.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. For all the time of possession that the Wildcats have had in this third quarter, and they've ran There's 10. There's another 6. They were in 16 plays to the Trojans 6 in this third quarter. They have yet to score. Trojans have been tough defensively when they needed to be. See if they can do it again here on first and 10. Johnson trying to get outside. Trojans stretch it out. Bring him down. Track down Matt Saban. Creed Curran was there. Kyler Siebert turning back inside a little bit as well. It's a loss of 1 on the play. And they bring up a second down and 11 here for the Wildcats. They'll wind the clock again. They play clock and game clock are almost exactly. I think the play clock is just a second ahead of the game clock, so they will have to run one final play here in this third quarter. 28-15 your score. Trojans trail by 13. Trojans trail by 14 in the first quarter. Overcame it to take a 1-point lead, 15-14, and then now the Wildcats scored 13 unanswered in the second. Here's Jeffers holding it again. Ty Norris on top of him. It's going to be a gain of about 8 on second 12 as we close out the third quarter. Trojans will be looking, Burlington will be looking at 3rd and 5 when we return. 3 quarters in the books, headed to the 4th, right here on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan football.
Girard National Bank brings you community banking at its best. Family owned and operated for over 80 years, Girard National Bank is committed to providing their customers with the highest quality financial services in a friendly and personal way. Girard National Bank is big enough to handle all of your banking needs, yet small enough to provide you with that personal touch you've grown to expect from a community bank. Girard National Bank is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. Learn more at gn-bank.com.
When I wake up in the morning, love, the sunlight hurts my eyes, then I look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day, lovely day.
This is Trojan football.
28-15. Trojans trying to stop them on 3rd and 5 and a run up the middle. That is Hess. And Tegan Hess on a 3rd and 5 is going to get that and a lot more, a gain of a 10. And up to the 15-yard line and moving the chains once again. The Wildcats already had a 4th and 4 they converted on the first set of downs they had on this drive. This will be the 9th play of this drive that started with 4:37 to play in the third quarter. So they are approaching 5 minutes on this drive alone. And here's Jeffers rolling, looking downfield. He's got Fiedler wide open, back of the end zone. Creed Curran goes in, he bats it away, and they're going to give him a good play there. Creed came in at the last minute and with a wish and a prayer threw his hands up.
And he turned on the jets and got over there.
And batted that ball away. Good play there defensively. Nice. A couple of new scores to pass along to you. Parsons, this is a surprising one maybe. 17-0 over Baxter Springs in their district competition in the third quarter. Third quarter, Pittsburgh High up 48-0 over Wichita North, and Erie up on top of Northeast. A couple of winless teams, I believe, 32-6 in that one at halftime. Second down and 10. Jeffers going to keep it himself and bounce outside, still bouncing and going to the end zone.
Yep.
Touchdown. Wildcats on the 10th play of that drive. He goes from, where was that, at the 15-yard line. 15-yard touchdown run. Connor Jeffers, his 3rd touchdown, I believe, of the ball game. And that's not accurate. Hey, it's his second touchdown. His second touchdown of the ball game. Nope, it is his 3rd.
That's his 3rd, yeah.
3rd touchdown. I talked myself into it, out of it, and then back into it. Connor Jeffers, 15 yards out, and a tough one here for the Trojans to overcome. Now on a 2-point conversion, Jeffers breaks 2 would-be tackles, and he's going to run this one in for a 2-point conversion. Craziness. Just completely crazy on the running by Connor Jeffers.
He's just, it's like the ball in a pinball machine. He just keeps bouncing off, path of least resistance, and just getting.
That score on the 2-point conversion makes it 36-0 15. Trojans trail. We're back in 30 seconds. You're watching Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan football.
First National Bank of Girard is proud to be the oldest bank in Crawford County, serving the area since 1878. With 139 years of experience, it's no surprise First National Bank of Girard has such a great reputation for quality customer service. First National Bank of Girard is committed to providing the best quality products and services, including online banking and bill pay, loans, CDs, and more. Use the convenient drive-up window or come on in and see all of the friendly faces at First National Bank of Girard, a proud supporter of Trojan athletics.
This is Trojan football.
Well, Burlington adds their lead, makes it 36-15. We'll update our score, 36-15. Here with 11:26 to play. Now in the fourth quarter of this ball game. And long approach here by Hawkins. Return off the far side by Lolleman. He is on his feet, knocked it out of bounds finally. That last drive for Burlington, 10 plays, 58 yards, took 5:11 off the clock and capped off with a 15-yard touchdown run by Connor Jeffers. His third of the ball game. And what were the stats you said a minute ago, Zach?
As of now, he's at 18 carries, 241 yards with 3 touchdowns.
What's that average? That's what's crazy. 18 carries. Only 18 carries, really. That's not a lot. 241 yards. That's significant average. I mean, that is. I wish I was good enough at math to do that.
Let me figure that in my head real fast.
Yeah.
About 13.3.
There's a long pass up to Creed Curran, makes the catch at midfield across the 45, and he's finally brought down just shy of the 40-yard line. This started at the 34, and so 34, 10, 20, and another of 4, so a 24-yard, 25-yard pitch and catch for Creed Curran. Oh, what a good pass and pitch and catch there.
24-yard gain on the play. First and 10 yards from the Burlington 42-yard line.
So inside Burlington territory now with the ball at the 42. Straight drop again for Siebert. He's going to throw it. Catch. What a good one. Dandy of a catch there by Thomason. And the Trojans finding some life in the passing game somehow. It's a gain of about 11, maybe right at 10. Should be enough for a first down. They get it right on the sticks. And they will move it. It's a 10-yard pickup on that one. So 35 yards of passing in 2 plays all of a sudden for the Trojans. That probably eclipses what they had. Creed had a big catch in that third quarter but couldn't hang on. It was a close catch in that third quarter. Here, handoff at the middle for McFarland. This time the pass maybe setting up the run a little bit on this one as up to the 25, maybe the 26-yard line. And Fort Scott takes the lead over Paola in the third quarter, 20-13. That's a surprising score as well. I thought, those have been some pretty good ones. That's a really good 4A district. Paola, Fort Scott, Lewisburg. And Fort Scott got a win last week over Lewisburg, and now they're up 7 points in the third quarter. Bobby Campbell and the Fort Scott Tigers trying to get a district title. 2 wide receivers near side, 2 to the far side. Rasnick's the tight end. Just offset to the left. McFarland in motion. Hand it to him. Makes one guy miss and can't make the second guy miss. That play is predicated on Creed getting that block on the left side and couldn't hold that block against Tegan. What was that kid's name? Tegan Hess. Yeah. Tegan Hess. And the Trojans. Clock ticks down, 9:48 to go now here in this fourth quarter, 36-15. Trojans looking at 3rd and 5. Here just shy of the 25-yard line. 2 wide receivers in the near side. 1 to the far side is Shirtano. Snap back Siebert. Got a little time, lets it fly. He's got Resnick and he can't hold on. Will, I think, felt the footsteps coming his way and he was open. Not a bad ball by Kyler. Kyler's thrown a pretty good passes tonight, but
I think you're right. I think he was feeling the hit a little bit before it got to him.
Got to stand in there and be tough, take those shots. Says the guy that never played beyond 5 yards of the ball. Raiders and Titans still in the fourth quarter now. Frontenac on top 14-0. Trying to maybe have a shocker there. Columbus was 6-1 and Frontenac was 4-3 coming to that ball game. Here's 4th and 5. Catch. Thomason makes the catch and it's a first down across the 20. Trojans have thrown the ball 4 times on this drive. They've been pretty well executed, actually. And it moves the chains once again for the Trojans. 9:18 to play in the ball game. Clock will wind. Siebert shotgun to his right is McFarland. Send Thomason in motion. Fake it to him, no hand it to him. He'll try to catch the edge, and he's got to know that cut. There's a cutback in there. If you can get your foot in the ground and cut it inside, there's a bit of a cutback there. Josiah, nothing doing there. No gain on the play.
Might have a little trouble with that cutback thanks to the grubworm invasion.
Yeah,
great
perhaps.
grubworm invasion of 17.
Timeout, or official timeout, trying to get some equipment squared away. .9:06 to play in this ball game as the clock ticks. Trojans 2nd down and 10, no gain on that play. So the 9th play of the drive here for the Trojans. 3 wide receivers to the far side. 1 to the near side. Siebert, straight drop, plenty of time, no pressure. Now he'll pull it down, and he'll drop his shoulder left forward, and a penalty flag going to be thrown on there. Maybe holding on Chandler Humble, perhaps. See what the official has to say about this one. That's a tough break against Girard. They were going to be looking at 3rd and pretty long anyway, but now this will back them up 10 yards and bring up 2nd down at about 20. Depending on where that flag sits, it may be even behind the line of scrimmage a little bit. So all the way back beyond the 30-yard line to the 31, maybe 32. And so it will be 2nd down at a country mile now. You don't have to get it all on one play. Just trying to get something going here.
That's unfortunate. I think that's kind of a more of a hustle play from the, play kind of breaks down on him. Kind of hard to fault Humble on that. He's just trying to fight, keep it alive.
Yeah, try to keep your quarterback clean as well.
Didn't look anything flagrant. So.
Heavy winds kind of kicked up here a little bit. Breezy coming into the window. And now a penalty flag and back him up another 5 most likely. We will see. Nope, they're going to call it against, I believe, maybe against Burlington. Free 5. Got his guy offsides. So they'll get 5 back on it. Encroachment against the Wildcats. We're getting a little sloppy now here in this fourth quarter. 8:18 to play in the quarter in this ball game. Trojans down 36-15. Again, Girard came back from a 14-point deficit to take the lead by 1 in the second quarter. And then late, less than 5 minutes to go in the half, the Wildcats rattled off 13 unanswered to take that lead into halftime. Trojans have given up 1 touchdown here in the second half. Here's a throw to Thomason down the field. Go! And it's knocked out of his hands. Well defended down the field by Jaden Payne in coverage. And good route by Thomason. But again, I guess you don't have to get it all. Falls on deaf ears as the Trojans take a shot to the end zone. Now you look at 3rd and 17 from the 27-yard line. And this will be the 10th play of this drive. It's going to be 9th play of this drive. Clock stops with that incomplete pass. 7:54 to play. Shotgun here for Siebert. Definitely 2-down territory at this point. Everywhere it will be. Straight chop. Good timing. Thomason again. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans. A 27-yard pitch and catch. And they kind of ran that exact same route that they just ran a moment ago. This time they connect, though. 27-yard touchdown pass to Thomason from Siebert. Here with 7:48 to play in the ballgame. Don't go away. Here's McFarland to kick the point after attempt, and it's no good. And so the score will stay 36-21. Here with 7:48 to play in the ball game. We're back in 30 seconds. You're watching Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan football.
When you're looking for Frigidaire innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Hydrix. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, will help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified Frigidaire appliances save you energy and money, and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months.
The only thing better than our price is our service. Hydrix, Fort Scott, and Girard.
This is Trojan football.
Trojans down the field, through the air. They had 6 pass plays, only 3 runs on that. But 9 plays, 66 yards. Capped off with a 27-yard touchdown pitch and catch on a 3rd and 17. Write that down. That was significant. 3rd and 17 when that was connected. From Kyler Siebert to Josiah Thomason. 7:48 to play in this ball game. Trojans get it back to 15. 36-21. 7:48 to go. Cam McFarland to kick it away. Short kick. Trojans going to go down. Oh, they can't quite get to it. Put some speed out on that edge and let them try to run down there and track it down, trying to get Taylor Bruning down to get on top of it.
Might have got a little too much of that ball.
And it will be Burlington football. Trojans need a stop and a score and get this thing back to real interesting. So Burlington will start at their own 31-yard line. One thing about it, the Trojans were down by 8 points with under 5 minutes to play last week and won at 12-8.
They got the onside kick
Who did?
last week, didn't they?
The Trojans?
Yeah.
No, we never did have that. I don't think that led to it. I don't remember.
Okay. I was just having a flashback. I was having a flashback on that onside kick, thinking they're going to do it again.
The bottom line is,
we just need you a mute button for when I start talking.
It doesn't matter. The key is you've got to stop Connor Jeffers, and that so far has not really been done in this ball game for the Trojans. He's got a big run up across the 40, up to the 45-yard line. And so just like that, Jeffers adds another 14 yards to his already stellar evening, probably approaching 300 yards total offense in this ball game. Fiedler split out to the far side now. Timeout going to be taken by the officials. 7:15 to play in the ball game. 36-21 your score here in the fourth quarter of play, and the White Hat will wind it. This crew's been the best crew we've had all season long tonight. Efficient and accurate. Handoff on the inside. Trojans got to get him on the ground. Penalty flag's going to come in here. A holding penalty is going to be called. I get all my holding penalties on Friday nights because when we go to Saturdays and go to Pitt State college football, they don't call hold. The MIAA, I don't think it's illegal anymore. They do not call holding. And to the point where last week, one D tackle or D end almost got his jersey off of him in a play, and our D tackle actually had to switch jerseys at halftime because his one had been ripped so bad. They don't call penalties. Don't call holding penalties. These guys do, and that's a loss of 10. And so the Trojans need a stop. Need something big to happen. Jeffers in that shotgun. Turn, handoff, third guy, and it's Cale Johnson finally ripped down. It's going to be a minimal gain, maybe a gain of 3 on that play. Nice good tackle there by Will Rasnick, helped out as well by Matt Saban. And with those two guys, gain of 3 to bring up a second down and about 15 here for the Wildcats. 6:25 though, time ticking. Trojans have all 3 timeouts. Both teams, I believe, have all 3 of their timeouts. Split a guy out to the far right side. That's Fiedler. 2 men in the backfield. There is Jeffers trying to pick his way through. He'll drag a pile forward across the 45, and another 5-yard pickup there by him. Up across the 45, up near the 46-yard line. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 10 here for the Wildcats. The Trojans, yeah, he can just barrels forward. Not a big guy. They have him listed here at 5'10", 175. That is probably pretty generous, both on height and weight, but strong as an ox.
I mean, he just starts to get you to feeling where like you're successful when you only let him get 5 or 6 yards.
Nope, but ball mishandled. Trojans got to get on him. They do. Finally, Chandler Hubble and a host of other Trojans. It's a loss. One of the few negative plays. He kind of mishandled the snap. And now you want to maybe think about a timeout, and they will. Trojans will take a timeout and preserve some time. 5:13 to play. A punt forthcoming on 4th and 11. The Trojan D does their job. Can the O strike quickly? We're back in 30 seconds. You're watching Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan football.
The Producers Co-op Farm Store is committed to making your life easier by supplying you with the things you need for your farm and home. As always, the Producers Co-op Farm Store has a great selection of farm and ranch supplies, including pet supplies, ranch and corral building supplies and equipment, automatic waterers and feed bunks, tack, dog food, pet and animal health supplies, workwear, boots, and much, much more. Come in and check out the great deals on lots of new merchandise as well. Proudly serving Girard and the surrounding area, and proud to support the Girard Trojans.
This is Trojan football.
4th down and 11 for the Wildcats. 4th quarter, Pittsburgh High all over Wichita North, 55-0. Wichita North was winless. Baxter's coming back in that ball game, but Parsons still leads 17-14. And Erie 32-6 over Northeast right now in that score. Last update we had, Frontenac on top of Columbus. Ooh, Trojans nearly get to that one. Fair caught by Creed Kern. Trojans going to get it at their own 28-yard line to start this drive. Trojans have not forced a lot of punts in this one. There's one. Oh, that's 2. Second punt of the ball game for the Wildcats. They've converted a couple 4th downs. And so the Trojans will have it here with 5:07 to go in the ball game at their own 28-yard line. Siebert, straight drop, look downfield, swings it out. He's got McFarland in the open field. Got to make a guy miss. Fiedler, he'll get over there and get out of bounds. Close to out of bounds, does he? That's the key. He did not. They keep the clock running. It's one thing Cam would, if he had a chance to do it over again, probably would try to get out of bounds and stop the clock. Every second's going to matter here. It's still a gain of 8 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 2. This is one you take a shot down the field here. Gage Shirtano over here against Fiedler. Send a man in motion. Handoff Curran. Creed's got to get across the corner. He does. He's got the 1st down. And he'll get across the 40 up near the 44-yard line. And it's a gain of 4 for Creed. It'll stop the clock while they move the chains. Here, 4:26 to play in this ball game, 36-21. Trojans trying to come back from another big hole. They finally will wind the clock. Shotgun here for Siebert. Snap back to him, straight drop. Trojan O-line's giving him plenty of time. Now he is flushed, and that's just too much time. That's a coverage sack, so to speak. The ball came out as well, but they say he was down by contact. It's a huge loss of the play. It's going to be a loss of about 8 yards on 1st down and 10. It'll bring up a 2nd down and about 18 on a sack. And Kyler's just got to throw that ball away. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, and that's about all you get if you're lucky. And the O-line has done a pretty good job of giving him time to step into it. They did on that last drive when the Trojans threw it 6 times and converted, I think, 5 of those, including a big touchdown pass at 27 yards. Here's Siebert, fling it out and hit the ground. He had Thomason out there, but that one quickly goes in the ground. 3:34 to play now in the ball game, 36-21. Trojans trailing the Wildcats. Score holds. The Trojans will be in survival mode when we come back to Frank Jameson Field a week from tonight to welcome in the Mustangs. And looking at potentially being on the road in week 1 of the playoffs if they can get a win next week. Still got a ways to go, though, in this one. 3:34 to play in this ball game with the football. But looking at a 3rd and 18. And is it going to be a penalty? Yep, delay a game. Trojans. So 3rd and 18 goes to 3rd and 23.
Not doing yourselves any favors.
Plus a lot of time, I think, runs off the clock as well, so that didn't help you at all. Columbus does score in the 4th quarter, 14-8 now the score in that ball game, and so watch out. 2 to the far side, 1 to the near side. You got a guy like Keenan Stanley. Anything's possible for the Titans. Shotgun for Siebert on 3rd and 28. Here's Rasnick over the middle. Trying to make a guy miss. It's going to be a gain of about 3. Oh, the whistle. His forward progress was stopped a long time ago. That kid should have never ended up on the ground. But got to be quicker on the whistle with the officials there. But a gain of 3. And a passing timeout going to be taken by the Trojans to discuss what they want to do. I mean, it's 4th down. You're down by 2 scores. You got to go for it probably here, but 4th and a long, long way. Trojans will take a timeout, and we will take it along with them. Trojans, see what they got here on a 4th and 19. When we return, you're watching Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan football. This is Trojan football.
36-21 your score, 3:06 to play. I did say, Zach called me on here at the break. At least you didn't call me out on air. I appreciate that. But the Trojans, not a week from tonight, a week from last night. Trojans will play on Thursday next week. So if you show up here on Friday, you can sit and watch nothing. But good game going on. Fort Scott and Paola, 20-20 score in that ball game. That has been neck and neck all night long. We've been tracking that one throughout this broadcast. And Trojans and then Parsons and Baxter Springs have been a good one. Parsons was up in that ball game 14-0. Baxter's come back and scored 21 to make it 21-17. Right now in this one, though, the Trojans are looking at a 4th and 19, just trying to keep a drive alive, giving themselves a chance here with 3:06 to play. We'll see what they drew up there at that timeout. Siebert, straight drop. Trojans, plenty of time. Lets it fly, throws it down the field. Thomason, intercepted. And that's okay.
Good as a punt.
The play, yeah, it's okay to let him catch that football. If he's smart, he swats it down and doesn't catch it.
Yeah.
Because then they have really good field position. But it's going to be intercepted on a 4th and 19 INT by the Wildcats. And so, that's right, in the stat book, it's an interception. 2:57 to play in this ball game. Trojans are back on deep.
Especially when you're sitting on a fairly comfy lead.
Yep. Wildcats will have it at their own 31-yard line. Jeffers still in the ball game. Up the middle. Makes one guy miss. Breaks the tackle. Here he comes. Looks like he's going to be tackled. Cuts back against the grain. The 45.
He's gone.
40, the 30. And he is gone. That one's going to be a 69-yard touchdown run. Credit to Carter Doherty sticking with it all the way down the field. Good job by that young man to give all his effort. But a 69-yard touchdown run by Connor Jeffers. And, yeah, that's going to affect that average. He was averaging about 13 yards a game, 13 yards a play. This should affect that a little bit. And so another one-play drive. And that kid is pretty good.
Yeah, he's averaging 22 yards a carry now.
22 yards a touch.
That's 22 for 326 with 4 touchdowns.
Wow, and a 2-point conversion pass.
I mean, I've gotten those kind of numbers on Madden a couple of times.
Yeah.
When I'm in easy mode.
Yeah, 2-point conversion's good on the pass.
There's the flag on the play.
to Fiedler. And that touchdown made it 42. They're going to say it's good. Yeah, 42-21 is your score in this one. The Trojans.
44.
Oh, the two-point conversion is good. Excuse me. Yeah, so it makes it 44-21 here in this one. We're back in 30 seconds. You're watching Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan football.
Farm Bureau is proud to support Girard High School student athletes. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, their #1 goal is to make insurance simple. Agents Judd Sasho, Lori Johnson, and Lisa Sasho take pride in educating their clients and members so they are able to make the best decisions. There's a lot of information out there, and at Farm Bureau, they can explain it in a way that relates to you so you can apply it to your life, family, farm, and future. To learn more, contact Judd, Lori, or Lisa at 620-724-4213. Go Trojans!
This is Trojan football.
Burlington Wildcats have had a couple of one-play, two-play drives in this one, some big plays. A 69-yard touchdown, the latest by Connor Jeffers. He also has touchdown runs of 78 yards, 15 yards, and 60 yards in this ball game. Fort Scott goes up 27-20 on Paola. Tigers taking themselves an opportunity to score. Wildcats have touchdown runs of 57, 60, 78, and 69 are some big ones in this one. And tell me what you said his stat line on that one is Connor Jeffers over 300 yards of all-purpose yards in this ball game, averaging 22 yards a carry. And so he has had himself a one to remember here tonight at the expense of the Girard Trojans. 2:36 to play in this ball game. Trojans are going to get it back here with 2:36 down, 44-21 here at home. I'll have it at their own 36-yard line. Will the Trojans. 1st and 10 from the 36. Siebert rolling to the near side, running the option, kicks it outside, puts it on the dirt. Boy, a good lucky bounce there by Cam McFarland to get that ball bouncing, because that ball's not round. I don't know if you're familiar with footballs, but they don't bounce like that very often. And that time they got lucky that it did bounce up into his hands and a gain of 3 on the play.
Looks like a nice little bounce pass.
Yeah, exactly. 2:10, the clock ticks here. 3rd down and 7 now, or 2nd down and 7 rather, for the Trojans. And it is flat cooled off outside here.
It is the first time it's felt like football weather. Of course, we're not catching quite as much wind as we were up on the
slightly blustery up at Anderson County last week for sure. Siebert, straight drop, looks to his left all the way. He's got a man. Thomason made a couple of catches. Makes the guy miss at the 50. Still on his feet at the 45 and up near the 42, 43-yard line. A good pitch and catch there and a good run after catch. An 18-yard pickup there for him. Thomason has had himself a couple of good ones. Had a touchdown catch as well of 27 yards in that 3rd quarter to get him on the board. That was in the 4th quarter. Another pitch and catch to Thomason, and that's up near the 35, maybe the 36-yard line. It's a gain of 8 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd down. A gain of 6. That was only a 6-yard pitch and catch. A gain of 6 to bring up a 2nd down and 4 here with a minute 12 to play. Throw it again, same play. This time it gets out of bounds. It'll stop the clock at the minute 8. And that'll move the chains for the Trojans. By far the most success the Trojans have had through the air this season here the last couple of drives. But it had to be a little bit in desperation mode, and the Wildcats are giving them plenty of cushion as well on the edge. Interception by Frontenac. Yeah, with 2 minutes to go in the ballgame, Frontenac gets the ball back. Here's Siebert. Flip it outside. He's got Farland. Cam's got to get out of bounds, just try to stop the clock here. It'll be a gain of a couple. So Frontenac's going to have the ball in their ball game against Columbus. Up by 6 with the football under 2 minutes to play. And a good one going on over on the other side of 69 Highway. 2 wide receivers to the far side, no 3 now. 1 to the near side is Thomas, and they've went to him a few times. 2nd down and 9. Flip it out. Raznik's got the catch. Got to turn it upfield. Good block by Gage Shirtano, and he's got a big pitch and catch up inside the 15-yard line. That's going to be a gain of about 15, a 15-yard pass up there to the 15. And out of bounds, it'll stop the clock with 53 seconds to play. In this ball game, Trojans trail 44-21. This drives for a little bit of pride here. He didn't get out of bounds, so he does not stop the clock. Here's Siebert. Handoff McFarland, just trying to sneak something in there on the run game, and Trojans will they're not going to take a timeout. That's what it tells you. They're just trying to, execute their offense. If they were wanting to get a touchdown, really wanting to just get points on the board here, they would call a timeout here, but instead just trying to see if they can execute this kind of 2-minute offense, essentially is what they've done. They got the ball with 2:36 at their own 36-yard line. They've ran 8 plays. Here's Siebert. Drop. Now flushed. Big block by Chase Bryant. And keep that one, and the Trojans are going to be up there. Now the Trojans may want to take a timeout. And they will. 16 seconds to play. It's a good gain of about 6 yards. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 4. Fort Scott backs against the wall right now with Paola driving inside the Fort Scott 20-yard line in that ball game. Under a minute to play in it. Trojans get another pitch and catch. That's their 6th completion on their 6th pass play on this drive. Timeout on the field. Again, we're back in action coming up this next Thursday. Final game of the regular season as the Trojans will welcome in the Iowa Mustangs. In that ball game, our pregame coverage will start at 6:30, kickoff at 7 o'clock. If the Trojans are able to get a win next Thursday, most likely they will be in the playoffs because they take 2 teams from each district. And depending on how the Frontenac Columbus score holds up, there's a possibility the Trojans will be at Frontenac in that first round ball game. Baxter Springs and Parsons. Parsons trying to get their first win of the season. 24-21. They come back and get the lead back in that game. Josh working hard over here on getting scores from around the area and running camera. Multi-talented. You're over here doing your thing on the stat book. I feel like I'm not doing anything.
Yes, I'm not going to lie to the people at home. Since I switched to computer stat book here, it's doing most of the work.
Significantly easier.
Thanks, Excel.
Yeah. Hey, week 8, we're finally getting this thing polished a little bit.
I did figure out I'm not a pen and paper kind of guy anymore.
3rd down and 5. Trojans trying to just run their offense. Hand off to Thomason. Breaks a tackle on the right side. Thomason to the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans. What a strong, concerted effort by Josiah Thomason on a 9-yard carry, and a penalty flag comes in. See what it's at the end of the play. I'm thinking this is going to stand.
Horse collar, maybe?
Officials work it out.
Kind of got yanked down.
See how it is. They're talking to Coach Philpott. Do you want to assess it on the kickoff? I think is what he said. Personal foul against the Wildcats, and so this is going to stand. The 9-yard touchdown run by Josiah Thomason. Back-to-back touchdowns by Josiah. And with 9 seconds to play, it's a really well-executed 2-minute drill there by the Trojans. Cam McFarland comes on and kicks the PAT through and makes it 44-27. And a penalty flag going to be thrown at the end of that one. They may be kicking this thing from the midfield by the time this is all assessed. 44-28 now your score after the point after was good. And Trojans see what they decide. We'll talk about it when we get back. Right now, Trojans just showing some effort. They're watching Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan football.
For more than 20 years, Call Service has been serving Southeast Kansas. Right now, Call Service has a huge selection of hand-cooked tires, including hand-cooked Dynapro ATM. Farmers and ranchers trust Call Service as their trucks crisscross Southeast Kansas, providing on-the-farm tire service daily. Plus, Calls is the first stop for lube and oil changes. Get back in the game with your new set of hand-cooked tires, never halfway. Available now at Call Service. Check them out online at callservicellc.com or call 620-724-4121.
This is Trojan football.
Look at this.
Wow.
Trojans are going to get kicking off at the 30-yard line.
Hey, so you do an onside kick here, you could score.
Yeah, you darn right you could. At the Burlington 30, just line drive kick. Look at the hands on that.
Wow.
I have not ever seen that before. They had 2 personal fouls. When the break ended up being a personal foul, and that was a good attempt there by Cam because he kicked it right at the offensive lineman, number 52. Parker Meets, a sophomore offensive lineman, and he made a dang good catch to just have an opportunity there to kind of run this clock out because the Trojans get it back. They're going to take a shot at the end zone. They kicked off at the 30-yard line inside Burlington territory, so Burlington will have it at their own 19 to take a knee on it and close this thing out. Well, the Trojans just dug a couple too many holes they couldn't get out of tonight, but really showed a lot of passion and effort to in this ball game, and I think they're getting a nice ovation from the Trojan faithful because of the effort that they did show. But in the end, it's going to be too little in this ball game. Come up short, 44-28, the final score in this one. The Trojans fall here to Burlington at home. Again, back in action next Thursday night to take on the Iowa Mustangs in that ball game. The Trojans need a win next week to keep their season alive. We'll see if they can get her done next week. We'll wrap this one up. We've got the postgame show, Evans Motors postgame show coming up in just a moment. We'll get your final stats for you, name our player of the game, and talk to Coach Philpott. All that and more still to come here on the Evans Motors postgame show. Evans Motors has been helping get people on the road since 1935. Stop by the lot just south of Pittsburgh and see Nate or Eddie for a test drive or let them find the vehicle that's right for you. Or you can check them out online on their online showroom at evansmotors.net. Talk about this crazy ball game next on the Evans Motors postgame show on Girard Sports Live. Have a little technical difficulties here. Obviously, still, I think, broadcasting, just trying to have a hard time going to break. We'll step away for a second, shut her down, and restart.
Norris Outdoor has a huge selection of quality billboards spread throughout southeast Kansas, giving you the ability to put your business in front of thousands of customers daily. But did you know? Norris Outdoor can also be where you get your next digital sign for your business, school, church, or sports venue. Norris Outdoor Signs is now a distributor of Sky Slate digital signs, giving you direct from the manufacturer pricing and giving your business a brand new look with high-resolution digital signage. To learn more, call Jared Norris at 620-249-7462. Norris Outdoor is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans.
For over 80 years, Evans Motors has provided some of the best handshakes in the four-state area. No matter what type of handshake a situation calls for, Evans Motors will guide the hand into its proper position with the correct amount of pressure. Risky handshakes, classic handshakes, or something in between, Nate and Eddie have an arsenal of shakes, roughly umpteen. So the next time you want an optimal handshake, come to Evans Motors in Pittsburgh.
Chicken Annie's Girard is a proud supporter of Trojan Athletics. Chicken Annie's of Girard serves up the area's best fried chicken and a whole lot more. Check out their weekly specials like chicken and noodles on Wednesdays, Thursday nights, kids nights, and Friday boneless wings. Oh, and don't
by the final score, 44-28. It was a dandy. Trojans and the Burlington Wildcats. Burlington moves to 2-0 in district play. Trojans fall to 1-1 in district play. This game started out with Burlington. They had just so many big plays in this game. It was just so much for the Trojans to overcome. In fact, they scored on the second play from scrimmage on a 57-yard touchdown run by Cale Johnson. 2-point conversion was good, made an early 8-0 lead. They get the ball back after a 3-and-out by the Trojans. And this time it's a 60-yard Connor Jeffers touchdown run. 2-point conversion was no good on that one, made it 14-0. So Trojans find themselves in an early 14-0 hole. Trojans get a short field on a fumbled kickoff return, but then can't do much with it, throw an interception. Trojans do force the Burlington to get one of their 2 punts on the night. It was partially blocked. That time they took the ball from the 29-yard line inside Burlington territory, their first score of the ball game. Excuse me, I got ahead of myself. The Trojans got their first score of the ball game back with 5:44 to go in the first quarter. They drive it down, score on a 7-yard touchdown run by Cam McFarland. Point after tip was good, made it 14-7. It's a 6-play, 50-yard drive. They go back, and then they do get that short field at the Burlington 29. They go 10 plays, take 6:05 off the clock, cap it off in a 1-yard touchdown run by Cam McFarland. And the 2-point conversion was good on a run by Kyler Siebert. And so the Trojans, after trailing 14-0 in this ball game, came back and led 15-14. It would be the only time in this game they would lead. As Burlington would answer back on their ensuing drive, they go 6 plays, 62 yards, cap it off on a 15-yard touchdown run by Cale Johnson, his second of the ball game. And then the Trojans would have to punt late in the first half, give the ball back to Burlington with 1:01 on the clock. 1 play later, and Connor Jeffers, his third score of the half. That's just his second score of the ball game. And he goes 78 yards for a touchdown. 2-point conversion is no good. Burlington takes a 28-15 lead into halftime. Into the third quarter, Trojans have to punt on their first drive. Good stop by the Trojan defense, though. They turn them over on downs. So kind of a defensive battle through a good portion of the third quarter. Go into the late in the third quarter. Burlington starts at their own 42-yard line with 4:37 to go. In the quarter, they go 10 plays, 58 yards, take 5:11 off the clock and into the fourth quarter before they score on a 15-yard touchdown run by Connor Jeffers, his third of the ball game. Trojans get it back at their own 34-yard line, 11:21 to play in the ball game. A really good drive down the field they go. And by the way, that made it 36-15. Trojans do score. Get it to a 2-score ball game with 7:48 to play on a 27-yard touchdown pass from Kyler Siebert to Josiah Thomason, his first of what would be 2 in the ball game. Burlington takes over. They have to punt, their second punt, and only 2 punts in the ball game. That was their second one. Trojans end up throwing an interception on a long pass on a 4th and 19. Burlington gets it back, and again, another 1-play drive. This time a 69-yard touchdown run by Connor Jeffers with 2:42 to play. It made it 44-21. Trojans go down the field, though, run their 2-minute offense, get the ball with 2:36 to go in the ball game, and go. That time they go 9 plays and 64 yards, cap it off at a 9-yard touchdown run by Josiah Thomason. And that's how things would end here, 44-28. Trojans fall to Burlington. We're going to step away, take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll talk to the Girard Trojans head football coach, Neil Philpott, here on the Evans Motors Postgame Show on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan football.
For more than 20 years, Call Service has been serving Southeast Kansas. Right now, Call Service has a huge selection of hand-cooked tires, including hand-cooked Dynapro ATM. Farmers and ranchers trust Call Service as their trucks crisscross Southeast Kansas, providing on-the-farm tire service daily. Plus, Call's is a first stop for lube and oil changes. Get back in the game with your new set of hand-cooked tires, never halfway. Available now at Call Service. Check them out online at callservicellc.com.
girardtrojans.com or call 620-724-4121.
Croc-In Telephone Cooperative has been serving Girard in southeast Kansas for 65 years. In 1952, we helped our members connect with each other using telephone lines. Today, we connect our members with the entire world using fiber optics. While the technology has changed, our commitment to deliver it to our members has not. Check us out on the web at ckt.net.
This is Trojan football.
Back out here to an empty Frank Jameson Field, relatively empty Frank Jameson Field here in Girard. Girard Trojans fall here tonight. Final score 44-28 to the Burlington Wildcats. Joining us now, the head football coach of the Girard Trojans, Neil Philpott. Coach, boy, a tough, hard-fought ball game. What a dandy. We'll start in the first half to talk about this one, but your team goes down early, 14-0. A couple of big plays by the Wildcats to get a 14-0 lead. And after coming back from 8 points a week ago in the fourth quarter, you've showed some character from your kids to come back again, and you led 15-14. Let's talk about that comeback.
Yeah, it's nice to see our guys and a little resolve there to come back and not think we're out of it and get back into it pretty quick and take the lead. Told them that at halftime. We go in at halftime, we're down 2 scores, and hey, we were down 2 scores in the first quarter and we were winning. So, we just got to clean some things up on defense and tackle better, get to where we need. I think we're just missing our run fits. We're in a little bit of a different front, and we just weren't hitting our run fits like we needed to a little bit. And but the character there, our guys fought and battled and clawed until the end. We just gave up too many big plays.
Yeah, talk about some of the issues that offense can cause for a defense, and just all the misdirection and just tough finding the right spot, and sometimes tough finding the ball carrier.
Yeah, it is, and they've got they've got enough misdirection with it, and they got us tonight with a lot of it. It was causing us a problem. Part of it, we were overrunning it. We just couldn't get in and couldn't find them, and we're maybe seeing our run keys just not fitting it up right. And it's they've got so many bodies in there that you get behind one, and you saw the very first play of the game. Nobody knows where the ball carrier is, and we're just tackling air, and he's kind of tripping over his own people. But it's tough. They're good at what they do. They're not overly confusing. They're just going to be good and sound and take 3 yards in a cloud of dust. And every now and again, you're going to miss a tackle, and they're going to take 80.
And it's kind of probably not great consolation, but late in that ball game when you needed to execute things, and that 2-minute drive down late in the ball game, and your passing game kind of came alive there, obviously late in that game.
Yeah, we're got in the 2 minute a little bit. They were giving us the underneath stuff a little bit. We were taking dinking and dunking, and then caught them on a couple things though. But I think we threw and caught the ball we best all year tonight, and missed out on a couple of opportunities. I think maybe one of them we got missed out on. But we had some guys do some things. We were able to get the ball to a couple of our guys, and I think that helped them. We got the ball to Josiah Thomason early on some hand sweep stuff, and I think that settled him in a little bit. And I probably should have done that 6-7 weeks ago. So that's poor on me. But it's tough. It's a tough one to lose, and there's a lot of our guys that it was painful. But it's not over. It's we got 1 week left, and if we come out and take care of business, and we might get some bonus ball. So we've got to go out, come back to work, and let this sting a little bit for about 24 hours, and we got to get back out here on Sunday and get to work.
Yeah, you got to get that win. It's a win, and you're pretty much in. I hope the way things work out, you get 2 wins in district play. Iowa Mustangs coming in here, and it's going to be what is one of the challenges you're going to face to try to get those guys' mind squared away to be ready to go next week. And a short week.
It'll be a short week. That'll be the tough part. And just look at don't look at past scores. Don't compare scores. We got to go out and you look at the scoreboard here and there this week, last year, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Anybody can be beat on a certain night. We got to come out and prepare like that. And it's like I said, it starts Sunday on a short week, and get yourself in the best mental attitude and frame, and to go forward and do what you got to do.
All right, Coach. We appreciate you coming up here and talking with us. A tough loss for your squad, and hopefully get a win next week against Iowa. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Head coach of the Girard Trojans, Neil Philpott, joining us here on the Evans Motors postgame show. We're going to step away, take our final break. We'll come back and wrap things up here from Girard. The Trojans fall here tonight to Burlington. We're going to finish things out next here on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan football.
Mathis Drugstore Incorporated has a proud Girard history of more than 50 years. Glenn and Karen Mathis took over the store in 1983 from Glenn's father and have been providing outstanding customer care and service since. At Mathis, they know their customers by name and value their support. primary goal is to provide fast, accurate, friendly service. Mathis is a full-service pharmacy that accepts most insurance plans and supports competitive cash pricing. Mathis Drugstore, a proud supporter of Girard High School student-athletes.
Community National Bank and Trust has been serving the area for 30 years with a strong commitment to the highest quality leadership and banking services. Stop in soon to pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue Mascot Debit Card. While you're there, be sure to ask about their e-Power checking, mobile banking, and bill pay, and new Guardian Secure Checking. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC, and a proud supporter of Girard Schools. Go Trojans! Paoni Dental is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. Chris Paoni DDS offers exceptional dentistry for all ages in a friendly atmosphere. In fact, Chris Paoni has been caring for smiles since 1993. No wonder so many Trojan fans look so good. Paoni Dental offers preventative care, Invisalign, whitening, bridges, crowns, and more. Stop by today and ask about the all-new CEREC dental system, offering same-day crowns, start to finish, right there in the office. To learn more, visit them at 106 South Ozark in Girard or go online to paonidental.com.
This is Trojan football.
Some youngsters out there telling stories, no doubt. Oh, rock, paper, scissors game going on. This is good. Right in your face.
Talking about in a few years when they're the ones out there.
Yeah, well, right now they're playing rock, paper, scissors. It's a pretty good match going on there, so you don't see that every day, folks. Wrapping things up here in this one, got a couple more things we got to talk about. First of all, talk about our player of the game, brought to you by Mini Stop. Before or after the game, be sure to swing by Mini Stop, a locally owned family store since 1980. Mini Stop has a great selection of drinks, snacks, more. Mini Stop fueling Trojans for nearly 40 years, located on the northwest corner of the four-way stop in Girard. You heard Coach talk about there a little bit, but thought Josiah Thomason stepped up big late in that ball game. Had a couple of good runs early on as well, but made some good catches, a couple of touchdowns for him. I feel like Josiah probably a good candidate for that.
Yeah, I agree with you there. You know, while some of that passing might not have been in a difference-making situation, it still gave him a chance to work on that, and, at some point that may come in handy.
Look at your final stats, brought to you by Westridge Assisted Living, allowing seniors to remain active and enjoy their daily lives in a worry-free, stress-free environment. Stop by and see Kathy and Girard to learn more about what Westridge Assisted Living has to offer your loved ones as well. Some stats certainly to report to you. Some of them probably not as good as you'd like them to be, but all in all, what do you got there?
Well, I think we'll start with our player of the game, Josiah Thompson. He had 6 carries for 26 yards, another 7 receptions for 79 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So pretty nice stat line for him, even though it was somewhat a lopsided loss. Over on the other side of the other sideline now, we keep talking about him, but number 10, Connor Jeffers with 22 carries, 326 yards, and 4 touchdowns. So just an unreal day. There's I'm sure that eclipses about the total overall yardage total for the Trojans. So huge game for him. Heck of a player. We called it from the beginning that he was going to be one of the key to the game, and sure enough, he was.
Yeah, with that effort, puts himself over 2,000 yards rushing on the season, or 2,000 yards total on the season, rather, almost 1,500 yards rushing for him in his senior season. And so, yeah, really good player. Tough loss for the Trojans, but they will have to bounce back next week. Again, welcome in the Iola Mustangs in a must-win game for the Trojans. If they win, I believe Frontenac held on, so there's a real good chance if the Trojans win, they could be at Frontenac in week 1 of the playoffs. A Frontenac team that I think the Trojans could play with because of the way they played in week 1.
Well, that and, the fans should travel well, so it should be not as good as a home game, but, a big home crowd over there.
Yeah, but they're getting ahead of ourselves. Got to take care of the Mustangs first. We'll see if they can do that next week. That's going to do it for us here tonight. Appreciate all of the sponsors' support as well. And for my cameraman here, Josh Lettner, my podcast partner, Zach Adams, I'm BJ Harris saying so long from Girard. The Trojans fall tonight. Final score, again, in this one, they fall to Burlington. Final score, 44-28. You've been watching Trojan football right here on Girard Sports Live.
This is Trojan football. On your new home for Trojan athletics, Girard Sports Live. Girard Sports Live is presented by Crock-Can Telephone, your community technology partner. Also by Ag Choice of Hepler, American Family Insurance, Jenny Collins Agency, Bradshaw Collision Repair, Brumback Service Center, Call Service, Chicken Annie's of Girard, Chris Paoni, DDS. Community National Bank and Trust. Evans Motors. Exchange State Bank. Farm Bureau Financial Services. First National Bank. Fort Scott Community College. Girard National Bank. G&W Foods Family Super. Hydrix TV and Appliance. Canar Eye Care. Lehman Realty. Larrett Ceramics. Mathis Drug. McClellan Sanitation. Medical Lodges Girard. Mini Stop. Norris Outdoor.